Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another edition of 13 Card Subject Exchange. Jesse's over there. Leroy's back this week. Jesse and I had some fun, but Leroy, you had some fun yourself.
Well, yes. If anybody has not seen Clifford the Big Red Dog, go see it.
Even if it's out of theaters now, because you can get it on DVD.
You can get it on Vudu and stuff like that. But get it and enjoy it. Even if you don't have kids, if you grew up watching it, it's a damn good movie. Yeah.
Actually, you know what? Here's another one for you for the kids. I watched Turning Red on Friday.
So did Allison and I.
Was very good.
But
that's new on Disney Plus. I haven't watched that yet.
Very good. Allison has an unhealthy obsession with the red panda. So this whole movie was just an absolute joy for her for more than one reason.
I was so charmed by this movie.
Claire has a stuffed red panda doll.
Also
so
on
she
Friday,
would be happy
Allison
with that.
bought her new favorite DVD, which is the Finn Balor documentary for the WWE put out. So
you are useless to her.
I'm aware. I'm aware.
I know she's mad that he wears the belt so she can't see his abs.
Yeah.
Okay, Allison, it'll be all right.
Anyway, we want to start off by saying news has come down this morning. We wish nothing but the best to Scott Hall and his family. We know Scott's had a lot of problems. This is not necessarily anything he's done. This is just a complication. Which, by the way, folks, you have to understand something. The years and years of what Scott did, and just the years of not just drugs, but wrestling and alcohol, they cause complications. Blood clots can happen if everything's done correctly.
Right.
I mean, that's just people's bodies are built differently. So right now, life support, we're not going to speculate anything past that. Our best wishes there. Our best wishes to Big E, who, as we have learned, folks, no major injury that will require surgery.
No spinal cord damage at all.
The C1 and the C6 are both fractured.
Yeah.
There is no ligament damage. The spinal cord's fine. We also want to be clear, since Big E's not really spending too much time on himself, I don't want any internet hate for Ridge Holland. There's a lot of scenarios that led to this, but the man himself is not to be blamed for what happened.
Right, I agree.
Folks, OSHA doesn't exist in pro wrestling because nobody leaves the same way they walked into the arena. It's just not the way the business works.
No, I said the best thing for him is Big E's going to rest for several months.
Yes.
People have ever been injured like that. Several months rest. Unfortunately, if he had something for WrestleMania, he's not going to be at WrestleMania. But you know what? I don't care.
And here's the other thing that
I want to see him back for the fall.
People that are saying that his career might be over. Edge and Tommaso had much worse things happen to them.
Way worse.
So I'm sure Big E will go through the proper channels, figure it out, see what it is. Although, like I said, Tommaso Ciampa and Adrian Peterson are in that peak of y'all are freaks for how quickly he came back and what happened.
Well, don't they use the same doctor that they have, or is he not doing?
So they were at the University
with WWE again
of Alabama, Birmingham, but
so
that's not where...
So they often like to use Dr. Andrews.
Yeah,
but,
that's what. That's what it was.
I don't think he does as much surgery anymore, but the people that work at his facility
are still
top notch.
That's what I figured. They still work with that, which is wonderful. And
I mean, WWE allows them to go overseas.
Well, here's the deal. People have to remember, Vince gave the blessing for Daniel Bryan to get that experimental surgery, because remember, when you're under contract, anything you do physically has to be approved by the company. So Vince was helpful there. Some news that I think we also need to get into is this. I am the person on the show that continues to be called the biggest AEW hater on the planet. I would like to clarify something. I make predictions. They make me right. I'm usually 7 to 8 months ahead. Folks.
I love how we're not even 5 minutes in, but here we go.
We're getting this out of the way because I want to make this clear. We're going to discuss this with Eric, who'll be on the show hopefully next week to discuss DPW the week after. No show in 2 weeks, folks, because we'll be busy with DPW. We all have very important roles with DPW now.
Hopefully, soon after, like maybe the next day, we'll have a exclusive YouTube video if that stuff works out. For a little experiment that we're going to have.
Right.
Jesse, what was AEW branded as before they started TV?
An alternative pro wrestling company.
And
basically, they were.
What were the two words that were used? Sports-based.
They said we will be a sports-based presentation.
Ladies and gentlemen, just like Ted Turner in the '90s, he has where it happened with AOL. Which was
when Warner bought AOL.
Jesse, remind me before we part ways today. Yeah. Both books are in the back of my car.
Oh, perfect.
Remind me before I leave.
Perfect.
Yes. Because you need some reading material when you're at home, and I've got you some great reading material. Yes. But here's the deal, folks. It's like it's an actual living parody of WCW in 99-2000 because
no kidding.
Jesse, what has happened? Time Warner has merged.
So actually, no, they've been bought by Discovery.
Well,
yes.
Yes, but they're calling it a merger.
Right.
Basically.
Technically. So for those who don't understand it, because I'm also big into movies and TV.
Yeah.
So Discovery's actually bought Warner Brothers Media.
Yes.
So Discovery has come in.
Yep.
And already
they've said a couple of things.
They've said a couple of imprints. Number one, right now you are not to have the Briscoes on our television.
The Briscoes will not appear on television.
I think we'll give that a couple of months. That should wear down.
Here's the other thing people have to realize. The company identifies as a entertainment company. Welcome to the world that Vince McMahon has been living in for 50 years.
What is WWE called themselves for the last 20-something years?
World Wrestling Entertainment?
Sports entertainment. Based off of pro wrestling.
Jesse, they don't have to admit it anymore. The proof's fucking there.
Right.
They don't have to admit anything to me anymore. Jesse and I officially will be a lot nicer to AEW because you guys don't have to admit it anymore. It just exists.
Right. Go ahead,
Leroy. It is now canon.
Just like WWE said before when they were a different name, they got the F out and they put the E back in, which is entertainment. I mean,
people have to understand something. I don't care how much money billionaires have. Unless they own a studio that gets a basic cable channel, they're at the mercy of executives. Yes. And now, congratulations, Tony, when you're doing your booking for, help me out, Jesse, Dynamite, Rampage, Elevation, Dark,
and Ring of Honor.
Dark, and Ring of Honor.
Soon to be Ring of Honor.
Yes, so now that you're booking 5 separate things, all the same way, all crappily, but we'll get to that in a little bit. Folks, he is now going to be booking, and those notes will not be sent via text to his EVPs. They'll be sent to an EVP who is under the Warner/Discovery network. Congratulations, you now have a TV rep that's going to give a shit.
Now, a lot more will be probably put on HBO Max is what I'm assuming.
Yes.
Which will be great for them, by the way.
Yeah,
And when they can get on HBO Max, they'll actually have more freedom there. Just like they really do have more freedom on YouTube. They just don't use it the way they should.
No, they really don't.
But on regular network television, trust me, you're about to see some things change.
Jesse?
Is there going to be more premieres?
No, what's going to end up happening is
more debuts.
That's what they debut.
I'm going to take us all back to a moment.
AEW debut.
Take us all back to a moment. Sci-Fi the Zombie.
Yeah.
Just saying.
All right. That's a possibility.
Just saying. Jesse?
That was painful.
Jesse?
Yes.
No more deathmatch.
No.
The blood is going to be scaled back. You know it's going to be scaled back. It's going to... Folks... Everything that you loved about AEW over the first 4.5 years, by this time next year, it's going to look a lot like what Vince has been doing for the last 30 years. It's going to look a lot like it, Jesse.
Very close. Very close.
Because guess what? Vince accepted that the TV executives walked in the building, and he's made it work.
Right.
And by the way, to the internet that's saying WWE can't always be a financial success, I'm sorry, that they got a pretty decent amount of money lying around.
You know, $6 billion.
I wish I could get some of that money.
$6 billion / $2 billion the next 4 years, and then I'm sure they'll get a renegotiation again. Says they'll just be fine.
And like I said, Jesse.
Definitely.
And like I said, Jesse, your friend, I use that term lightly. Your friend, the Saudi prince, ain't exactly calling the cons.
No. Why would he?
He's not calling the cons to go make a show. It's not happening, folks.
As Vince said, they gave me a call. I decided to go ahead and bring pro wrestling to a country that really hasn't seen it in 30 years.
Is that the part, Jesse, where people end up proving they're a little too much like sports fans in the sense that you think your team traded a player? What if someone called them and gave them a better offer?
Right.
Vince never called Saudi and said, give me money, I'm failing. The Saudi prince called him and said, I'll pay you X amount of dollars. And by the way, is there a person on this planet who has the morality to say no to that?
Well, I wouldn't.
I think those shows basically give 20% of their funds for the year. So it's a major chunk of your funds. And now he actually has gotten a lot better about integrating those shows into what he's already doing. So now those shows have gotten better.
We'll talk about some integration comments by Tony in a little bit because, boy, oh boy, he decided to tweet all over again. But before we get there, Jesse, I'm not saying this is the death of AEW like it was WCW. Because I think at the end of the day, the cons own it. So there's money behind it, whereas WCW was not.
Right.
But is this the death of AEW in the world that the fans of them right now have loved?
I will say this. I do believe...
Because I'm not trying to make fun of it. I'm just trying to bring some facts to it.
Like, they'll still be able to get away with the swearing on TBS because they literally have American Dad and Family Guy on there.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, they'll still be able to get away with that.
That is fine.
That's going to be fine.
But you're not going to have Nick Gage on there anytime soon.
Nick Gage ain't coming back.
Nope. He got his one night.
Right. Enjoy it.
Nick Gage got one night. He ain't coming back.
He ain't coming back.
Because guess what, folks? If they won't take the Briscoes based on that, Jacob Fatu's probably not going to get on there based on what Jacob's been through, even though WWE would probably take Jacob. And
do that in a
but
heartbeat.
they also know Vince better than they know Tony.
That deal with MLW, I would like to know more about that at some point.
Well, Court Bauer has to stop suing over stuff that makes no sense because that lawsuit clearly went nowhere.
But
speaking of which, I'm just going to say it. Folks, we've said things on the show before. We've made our opinions known. Juicy, Smollett, whatever your name is, stop. No one's on your side. Even your own community doesn't think. Just, bro, just be lucky you got 6 months.
He'll probably get out in 3. I do get his worry about being killed. Just because, you did kind of turn the cops. Because you lied. You shouldn't have lied. You shouldn't have lied about that.
And did you really think you were going to send 2 guys to jail and they weren't going to say anything? Come on.
Well, when they started investigating, if your lie wasn't good enough,
then
you should have never. That's a different discussion.
Yeah, that's another thing. But anyway,
But to get back to Tony Khan,
I'm not saying it's the death of AEW.
I will say this: Discovery will, for the most part, will still allow the swearing.
Yeah.
Of course they'll still do the match in ad and all that.
But is it going to start being a scenario where if the blood happens because we're not taking the precautions to get away from it?
Oh, they'll start dealing with some network sanctions.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Because folks, welcome to the world. I've said it 4 or 5 times already.
Remember, Discovery is very much so a family network of channels. A Food Network, Home and Garden.
I'm stealing this from our boy Gene.
Yeah.
I'm stealing this from the professor. Welcome to Shark Boy Week.
Oh, for real.
There we go. I mean, if this
Sharky just got himself a whole new deal every August.
I'm hoping
on AEW television.
I'm hoping that this will be a new avenue and maybe better stuff coming on AEW. I'm hoping.
And again, folks, we're trying to point out.
That's what I'm hoping.
We're trying to point out. Leroy is not hoping for more WWE. He's hoping for more buttoned up, for more production, and for more ability to understand that you guys think you're a territory. You're the farthest thing from it. Vince is closer than you are.
Yeah.
If I want to see territory, that's why I go see the local shows, MAW.
Right.
That's more territory.
And by the way, folks,
this is national.
And by the way,
stuff.
folks, if you don't know MAW's name right now, you gonna know it real quick because they're making moves and they are.
The shows are getting bigger. And
is
bigger
there
and
not
bigger.
Seriously, Jesse? And again, you said this a couple weeks ago. No offense to First Wrestling, Second Wrestling, or anyone else in the area. Is there anyone that's had more momentum in the last couple of years than Midwest All-Star Wrestling?
No.
Well,
the shows are incredible.
Can we do a shout-out for Dave real quick? Because you know that if you saw his lovely post on Facebook, he had a tag team. Now he's going to have a triple threat. Him and his lovely wife are expecting a new child.
We love him.
We don't know boy or girl. I don't think they figure that out. But I'm so happy and I'm so excited for him because he's a lucky guy because she's a wonderful girl. Yeah. She's a wonderful woman.
Dave loves to talk about the blessings he has being a Native American businessman, but forget the man's race, religion, or creed. Is there anyone that works harder that we know than Dave? And still has an amazing family at home, mind you.
And still has a very positive mindset through everything.
Oh, he's stressed on show days, but you can't blame a man for being stressed.
And I mean, you ask him a question, he answers you, and he takes care of everybody.
As far as I know, I don't think a single legend he's ever worked with has ever had a bad thing to say about working with Dave.
Dave is absolutely amazing and very good at what he does.
Because he's had a lot of those legends come back and work with him multiple times. So I mean,
well, when I tell people about me and Zach got to do this and we got to hang out with this guy, everybody's like, "What? You did what?" I said, "Yeah, it's who you know."
Dave creates a show.
Oh, yeah.
He creates a convention-like atmosphere when there's the show. And it doesn't matter where we are. It doesn't matter who we're partnered with when we work for MAW. Dave works with anyone, will work with anyone, and I don't think anyone's ever had a bad working relationship with the guy that if they've worked with him, because, folks, I do not know someone who has a busier schedule when he's on.
Oh, God, yes.
And Jesse, you and I both know, even when he's taking that lovely family down to the coast, he's probably got his phone on 3 or 4 times a week.
Yep.
So.
Oh, yeah.
But, okay, again, so to put a bow on this, I am not hoping that this is the WCW ending because that hurt wrestling for way too many years.
And we don't need that again.
No.
But I want to clarify something. The AEW stands of the internet have boasted, they've done this, they've done that. Everything has gone the opposite of what you've said because nobody was willing to sit back and realize this is a guy with zero clout in anywhere in entertainment. No one knew about Tony Khan until he bought AEW.
Right.
And now they still barely know about him because, Jesse, who does the NFL talk to?
His
daddy. Who technically owns Fulham?
His daddy.
Who technically, at the end of the day, is the man who owns all Elite Wrestling?
His daddy.
And who, despite the fact that it's been recorded that it was Tony's money, which we got to talk about that, who probably wrote the $40 million check?
Daddy.
Probably his daddy.
Probably daddy. Okay.
Well, speaking of one thing, and I'm going to put in, I told you, I didn't tell you guys I was decorating the studio, and tell everybody I'm going to put some more pictures up.
Yep.
But I have a couple of my belts displayed. I got some merch from Darren, and a few other things decorating our makeshift
I love how we talk
studio.
about Tony Khan so much that like we like the joke is that he's so scatterbrained that Leroy just mentioned something that had nothing to do with the segment. It was perfect.
There we go. We can move on, but I had to do it. And
no, it's fine.
And I'm gonna
like Tony
I'm gonna
pays attention to his own show. Have you seen the booking of the AEW Dynamite? It's about as we were still on course more than AEW.
Yeah. Well, I'm proud of my decoration.
Yeah, you should be.
Yeah.
Definitely got to put the photos into.
Oh, they're so nice.
Check the video.
Yeah,
on
no,
YouTube.
I love this.
It looks great.
But Jesse,
I will. I'm going to be posting pictures.
But Jesse,
on Twitter.
Vince goes to a TV studio. He's got a star on the Walk of Fame.
Right.
People are going to listen to him.
Right.
Tony, bro, you got to be in this business for a few more years and have a little more success than. Because like I'll never forget the rumor that went out there, or that, not a rumor, but somebody mentioned because they're a stan. They wanted to be a stan. Oh, when the Fox deal's up, Fox might just go grab Dynamite. Yeah, because they're going to go down in half the ratings.
They're starting to get close to 2.5. Why would they?
Well, not only that, Jesse, but can we be very clear about something that we've all had arguments with other people about?
Shows they have every
Jesse,
week.
yes, AEW wins this key demo.
Yes.
But not by much.
No.
It's not that big of a gap. The gap
really
between
not.
the total viewership's bigger.
It's yeah.
And that's
we have to clarify
that's
something.
The last thing I'm worried about.
A .41 to a .36.
It's not that long.
That's not a big amount of people. So you're telling me that AEW is going to win this war in the end because of a key demo?
No.
Bull.
I'm not in that demo right now, I don't think.
And it's 18 to 49.
Ooh, I'm right at the brink of it. I still have money, and they're not doing anything for make me want to buy their stuff.
Did anybody here pay for the pay-per-view?
No, I don't need to. If I get anything, I'm gonna get.
No.
I'm gonna. Yeah. If I get anything, I'm gonna directly talk to.
I might do the Bleacher Report app at some point because there's a lot more on there.
There
than
is.
just that.
Right.
And then just to have it would be nice.
Right.
I'll have to check that out.
Yeah.
But
it's only like $5, I think.
I will go to JDX, who's been on there, and get his merch from him.
Yeah.
Our boys from Top Flight. I will talk to them personally and get stuff from him.
We'll tend to get merch directly from the wrestlers.
I'll do that. I'm not going to go
through
anything.
a little harder to do because their contracts basically state they don't control their own merch.
Right.
They get a cut of it, but they don't control their own merch.
Unless they're a part of the creative of the merch and they get a little bit more.
Yeah.
It's a weird contract.
Yeah.
But it's
now, Jesse, we've had our day. Today we're going to talk about the opposite of a shit sandwich. Shit, good breading, and then shit. So now, to a positive, which I am willing to say, Jesse, Revolution was pretty good.
I thought this was, besides a couple matches, I thought this was an absolutely phenomenal show.
All right.
I did hear about it, too. Yeah.
One thing I will give
a long one.
That was the biggest issue. Even their fans said it was too damn long, their stands.
Yeah.
But I do believe one thing that they can do very well is a big pay-per-view.
Yeah.
I'll give them that. It's something they do insanely well, and I love it.
Now, to be fair, they've had some bad pay-per-views.
Yes.
They've had some pay-per-views that just felt like a long Dynamite.
Yeah, for real.
But this, they figured this out, and we're going to go through this, and we're going to give a lot of love to it.
Last 3 shows, though, have been pretty good.
Jesse, you had them at a 4.5 to start. You came down a little bit from what I'm gathering.
4.2.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
I gave it a 4 overall, and I'll explain at the end of actually, you know what? I'll explain in the middle of the show how I felt. But
okay.
Leroy, what was the first? Actually, we had 2 buy-in matches.
We had 2 buy-ins. It was
Jesse got the first one wrong. He was very wrong. Yeah.
Leah Hirsch and Chris Stanlander. Chris Stanlander lost the pin by pinfall, and then
I'm not taking anything away from these gals, but damn, did they take a woman that was one of their hottest attractions in the female division, and now she's blander, and she's eating pins on a pay-per-view.
Here's the thing.
Also,
so it's weird that I'm going to say this.
Also, by the way, internet, Layla Hirsch is not part of the Russian insurgents. Shut the fuck up. Leave her alone.
I had heard nothing about that, but that's insanely funny.
She made a comment. She made a comment basically that she has no affiliation with it, and it's like I'm not saying anyone went against her, but it's sad that she even has to fucking do that.
She was adopted.
It is sad.
She had to be adopted from there as a child. That's not even a story I'm willing to get into.
Yeah,
we're never. All right,
but I will say this: I give them credit.
Okay.
For having the balls to do that.
Yeah.
Because this is a woman who probably should be at the top of their card, and I'm talking about Chris Statlander.
Yeah.
And the fact that you're kind of using her to push Layla now, especially as a heel.
Yeah.
I think it shows some balls and some belief.
Yeah.
And I'll give them that.
Yeah.
Because often they just go back to all the Elite's friends.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I will actually give them credit on this one.
I'm not taking away from what the 2 ladies did. I'm just trying to explain that, once again, we're just supposed to accept the fact that Chris Statlander is no longer an alien.
She's a lower mid card woman wrestler now. That's what she is in AEW. It is what it is.
Yeah. Next match.
Unfortunately, the next
good
one,
match, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Overall, the ladies did very well.
Excellent.
Chris Statlander, we said, had some green moments on national television. She's cleaned it up a lot.
Oh yeah.
A lot of reps.
The next buy-in, Hook defeated QT Marshall by submission.
Before we even get into it, we need to people have to understand how this is working, and I'm going to take you back to the old days when you
don't even know me. Nah, you don't even know. I love Hook. I'm from New York,
yep.
So every time I see Hook, I'm like, this is one of my guys.
But we have to understand, if we go back to the old days of wrestling, when you have a guy with some hype. Mm-hmm. He beats up a bunch of nobodies. You barely see him, but you hear about him. Oddly enough, they're talking about Rampage more than Dark and Dark Elevation, but that's neither here nor there.
Right.
So Hook gets some cheap wins.
Yeah.
He finally gets into a main roster type of feud.
Right.
It's not with a top guy.
No.
But Hook's not that guy yet.
They're building him.
But this is how you old school used to build a guy.
Right.
In that he gets a bunch of. It's weird they're doing it 4 years in, but maybe it's Taz.
I think it probably has a lot more to do with Taz.
Right. So, but that's the thing. He gets a bunch of cheap wins. QT is at least a name that they know.
Right.
It's not a name like the Elite, but it's a name they know.
Right.
He gets a win there.
Right.
I'm interested to see where they go with Hook after this because like I said, so far I don't think Hook has done anything that's been outlandishly, egregiously elite.
Right. No,
type of booking.
He looks like a wrestler's wrestler. Like,
and by the way, the size. His dad was never the biggest guy, but the size will come.
Here's the thing, though. Right now, the big size isn't there, but the kid does what he needs to do. And that to me.
And there doesn't have to be a lot of personality to him because, like you said, Jesse, it's more. They found a kid that oozes the confidence he needs.
Right.
We'll find Hook is what you wanted Jungle Boy to be. I didn't want to say it, but Hook is what Jungle Boy should have been. And Hook's dad is not as famous as Jungle Boy.
I think people though still believe Jack Perry really is everything he should be, but I'm like, he should be more.
Oh God,
he can be more.
Yes,
he can be way more.
But
hopefully,
great job by
can
Hook.
Happen.
Yeah.
Great job by Hook.
But Hook looks amazing.
QT did exactly what he should have done. He put the kid over. And by the way, we're going to talk about this a little.
Got choked like a bitch.
Right. We're going to talk about this.
Beautiful.
We're going to talk about this about a match later in the show. But here's the deal: QT didn't have an overly competitive match.
Right.
He made Hook look good.
Right.
I'm not saying that Hook needs to get all the offense, but QT doesn't need to make it competitive.
Right.
And that's been my biggest problem, I think, with Excalibur's commentary recently is when we're trying to build a certain person, focus on that person. Don't give credit to the person that almost I feel like he's trying to give, and again, I know he's one of the boys technically, but he tries to give too much love to both competitors. You need to know who's supposed to go over here.
Right.
And I feel like that's what WWE still does better than anybody from their commentary team is. We know who the match is supposed to center on.
Right. Whereas
people don't necessarily like the way Corey Graves speaks a lot of the times, but Corey's putting the focus where it needs to be. Right. Whereas I think Excalibur gave a little too much to QT when this was supposed to be about Hook. I could be wrong, but
to be honest, anytime I watch an AEW show, I'm only half paying attention to commentary.
That's fair. And it's not even Excalibur's fault. It's more I don't want to hear the greatest wrestling announcer alive to just not give a shit.
Because I know Excalibur as an amazing commentator from my days coming out to California and watching PWG.
Yeah. And for all intents and purposes,
literally watered down in AEW. So the only time it feels like he's himself is when I watch Dark. So I'm just like, I don't care.
Okay, all right, that's fair.
Yeah.
But no, Jesse gives them credit for the first match pushing. But this match, you went exactly where you should have been.
Yeah, I agree.
Hook had no business losing to QT.
God, he just.
That was a 5-minute match here, says. So.
Shouldn't have gone any longer.
Yeah.
Hook's about showing up, beating people up, and leaving.
It's good.
I don't know what happened with Taz and Vince. Because, man, this kid, I think about, building this kid with a Hobbs on a Monday Night Raw.
Oh yeah.
You would almost think they would almost accidentally push him too soon because a year within building him, I think Vince would be like, I think I gotta have him choke out Seth Rollins. He looks great,
right? Yeah,
he looks great on my television.
Taz ain't dumb.
No.
If Vince says, "Hey, I'd love to have your son. I'll give you this much," he's gonna tell his kid, "Go sign."
Yeah.
Well,
you're gonna make that money. Go do it. I mean, I totally
make money, but
yeah.
Hook looks like a superstar, and I love it.
I can't wait until Hook. And I don't know if it's going to happen
because they're going to lose MJF. I'm calling it.
Okay.
They're going to lose MJF.
I do believe you. I do agree with that.
We're
going to get to him.
We're going to get to him. But here's the deal. Hook, I can't wait to see him actually be on Dynamite because I can add a third segment to something I actually want to see.
He's only been on Revolution, right?
Rampage.
Whatever.
But
Rampage.
what I'm saying is that when he finally gets to this main show, I can finally add a third segment to what I actually want to watch.
Right.
Because right now it's about 2 segments, and then I'm like, why am I here? Anyway, Leroy. The main card.
The main card, the House of Black, and they defeated. Pac Penta, are they? Is that the Death Triangle still?
Triangle.
Okay.
2 of the 3 from Death Triangle.
2 of the 3, and then
Fenix is out.
Eric
Still
Redbeard stepped in first place.
Right.
They did lose to the House of Black.
This was actually still the pre-card. I apologize because this was still buy-in.
Oh yeah, it is.
I watched this on YouTube.
Oh, was this the buy-in?
Yes.
Yep. That was the last one.
Yep.
6-man tag match.
Yep.
Oh wow. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So
well, first of all,
Jericho and Eddie opened. So
clearly, Tommy End is getting control of his characters.
Yes.
Because this was phenomenal.
I will say this. A couple of things bothered me, but I think But what bothered me was my own personal preference that, I feel like Buddy Matthews is far too good for as many false finishes as they had.
Okay.
My biggest problem is that in that ring, I had 6 guys who I think can actually work.
All right.
But I feel like they went a little too long. And again, this is a personal thing to me. I'm not trying to rip them. This is not my usual AEW beatdown.
Right.
From my personal perspective, I think somebody needs to understand that they have to go to these guys and say, no one's questioning the ability of the 6 men in this ring.
No, not at all.
But at some point, it got a little gimmicky because at least even at least even Undertaker turned down the spookiness during the match.
Right.
That's my only real concern is that
his spookiness then became how quick and shit.
Right, he was, yeah. So it's like, for me, I wish they'd get a little less gimmicky when the bell rings, and I wish they'd shorten it by a couple of minutes. But that's a personal thing. I actually really enjoyed it overall when I was able to lose myself in it. But it's just, for me, I got a little bit tired, and the problem is, if I'm getting tired in the buy-in, I'm going to be asleep by the main event because it was a long show. Was there a total time for the show, Leroy? I don't want you to go ahead and give away matches, but do we have a total time for this pay-per-view? It was easily 5.5 hours.
It had to be close to 5
no,
hours.
they don't. I could
kind of add them. But
you go ahead and add them, but we'll move on.
But yeah, I will say this about this match.
Yeah.
Number one,
because I agree, Tommy's definitely getting a lot of input.
He's getting a lot of input on the characters, which is great. He should have input on his character. Damn shame. Because I think this was the character he was going for in WWE.
Yeah.
And then, of course, they cut his contract and all that. Because the music that they actually got for him was pretty close to the song Ugentrust that they had somebody record for him. That music was banger. But, yeah, seeing this, first of all, it's always been funny to me. Tommy in the ring is a world champion wrestler. But I don't think people feel that way because of the character. It's weird, but I've also always been into the dark characters.
Yes.
So I'm like, dude, you could have a big evil motherfucker as champion. Mm-hmm. Matter of fact, it always makes the challengers seem like top challengers because you got to go beat that big evil son bitch.
Yeah.
Listen, I have nothing negative to ever say about Pac. Penta is...
You can't say anything negative about Pac because he's so crisp, he's so clean. The guy in any other era would have just been an absolute freak of nature.
People tell me they think that he's the best wrestler. I'm like, I might not agree, but I can't argue against you. Pac is so damn perfect as a pro wrestler. And then you get Penta, who's just been the man for a lot of years.
Yeah.
Eric Redbeard came out and showed his ass and had a great match.
He was working for it. You got that time, Leroy?
Well, a rough time, 191 minutes.
Okay. Divide that by 60.
Well, why divide it by 60? Just
60 minutes.
No, I know. It's probably it's almost a 4-hour show.
Yeah.
Where you're looking at that, you just divided 6 into 19.
Right.
Yeah.
Or 191. Yeah, it's
probably a 4-hour show with commercials and everything.
Which felt fucking long.
Yeah,
but yeah. So I awesome match, right outcome.
Yep.
So I was digging it. I was digging it.
See, that's my problem. Is that I'm so used to them having a good match, and the match goes a certain way, and then for some reason they swerve me at the end. Yeah. WWE a lot of times doesn't necessarily I think WWE gets too predictable.
Yes.
But they don't swerve me into a place that makes no sense. Right. Early on, Jesse, you were the one questioning at the beginning of AEW, why are the best friends eating so many bad losses even though they looked amazing in the matches?
Right.
It's a weird visual, but like I said, here it was competitive because all 6 guys can go.
Right.
And I agree that the result was correct.
Right.
So far, I'm okay with the results of everything that's happened.
Right.
That was probably probably about 3.5 hours with all the extra crap they have in
I'd say 4.5. Yeah. No. I'd say it was definitely 4.5.
You think it was 4 with the extra? It was closer to 4?
Closer to 4 hours. Yeah.
Well, it was just the match times. It was closer to 3.5.
But you have to remember,
with all the extra stuff on it, probably going to be another half an hour going to add on to it.
But okay, so now we're on the main card. The first match on the main card.
First match. Eddie Kingston defeated your favorite guy, Chris Jericho.
This actually worked.
I'm going to give Jericho's bitch ass credit.
Yeah.
Well, he's looking better now. He's not so old and flabby.
Well, NBA Twitter will do that to you.
Well, also almost dying will do that to you.
Yes.
Here's the thing.
From falling on the crash pad?
No, not that.
Okay.
He's a Hall of Famer. There's never taken away from
No.
I think he's probably one of the greatest performers of my generation. And it's not close. But he's such an unlikable dickhead.
Yeah.
Away from the ring.
Yep.
At his old curmudgeon age that it makes it hard for me to get into it. But I will say this. Eddie Kingston just sells babyface well.
Yeah.
He's just a likable dude.
Yeah.
He's just a deeply likable
He just has to stop talking.
Sometimes, yes. I do agree with that.
Eddie!
It's
you
weird.
have to shut up a little bit.
He's literally one of the best promos, but it gets to ranting / like, here we go with the fucking shots and this shit again kind of territory.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got some shots to talk about. Remember I said it's a shit sandwich, but the opposite way. The post-game needs to be discussed a little bit, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. Leroy, first of all, I just want to say this match, I actually really loved it.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. Eddie and Chris proved that if they take the gimmicks out of it, they can make a good match.
I mean, these two guys can just, they're legends in their day. They
Yeah.
just are. They just
And I do think that you use the word legend for Eddie very, correctly. I think Eddie, in his own way, is a legend of what he does.
I got to tell people, the mainstream may never kind of see him that way, but us who know his work from the indies through Impact and all that, we know like this guy is a legend in the game.
And I think what makes him a legend as well, I don't know if there's that many realer people in wrestling than Eddie Kingston. I don't think Eddie knows how to play a gimmick. I think Eddie comes to work and wrestles in the same gear he showed up in.
I mean, to be fair, I have seen him play gimmicks before. But he's so likable. He really is.
Yeah.
He's a likable guy.
Yeah.
And Chris is great. Chris is fantastic when I don't have to hear his comments.
Or his music.
Well, that I don't care about. But, because most of the...
It's a good theme song.
No, he's talking about Fozzy in general.
I don't care about Fozzy.
Yeah. Fozzy's got about a half...
Right.
See, the reason why I have to like Fozzy is because I have so much respect for that Chris brought to the forefront and got a record deal for a bunch of musicians who deserved success a long time ago. Because, I mean, there's some real chops musically in that band. They just have a yeller, not a singer. That's my problem.
Yeah. Different style singer.
Megadeth has a yeller, not a screamer, not a singer, but Dave is...
Well, Dave's also one of the best guitarists of all time. He's also an old asshole now.
Yeah.
But
that happens.
Thank God Leroy's a good guy.
I'm not quite an asshole, but I'm getting old.
You're a good guy, though.
Next match.
All right, this is a three-way tag team match for the AEW World Tag Team Championship.
I'm gonna let Jesse take this one because
Jurassic Express defeated Red Dragon and our favorite tag team,
I'm gonna
the
let
Young
you go
Sucks.
first because I have a slight thing I'd like to say, but you get to go first because Jesse.
Who pinned who?
Huh?
I didn't see it.
Huh?
Jurassic
Who pinned
Express pinned.
Who got pinned?
Nick Jackson, I think.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. But Jesse,
the
this
Bitch
match
Boys took a
became
pin.
exactly what you said, so you're allowed to go first.
I don't want to hear anyone complain about RK Pro, the SmackDown Tag Division,
Alpha Academy,
ever again. Ever again. This might have been the worst thing on the card. Because I was absolutely right. I'm like, they literally built this match for Redragon and the Bucks to have the tension, and we apparently just completely forgot that the tag team fucking champions were in the match.
Which is sad because, like I said this off mic, this is the best I've seen Luchasaurus look since Lucha Underground.
Oh, well, that's good.
Something clicked in him for pay-per-view.
I don't understand the Bucks.
Yep.
You know what? I think the one
this will be the number one thing between you and Eric next week. I
think the one I dislike the most is Matt.
Oh, Matt's the most annoying motherfucker on the planet in wrestling.
Yes.
Why does he no-sell as much as he no-sells? Dude, he weighs less than you.
I know.
There's no way he's probably a little taller than Zach, but there's no way he's as big as Zach.
Dude, I probably poop bigger than him.
Dude, I swear to God, if I have to watch another Bucks match, that they get hit with something, they sell it for like 2 fucking seconds, and then try to move on to the next spot. I swear, I'm gonna bring your kids with tomatoes to the next AEW show, and I'm gonna tell the security guards, you're not allowed to arrest the kids. You can arrest me, but they're throwing tomatoes, they're throwing cookies,
cabbages,
whatever they can at the Young Bucks because I'm sick of this.
Wow, that's going to bring a tear to my eye.
Yeah, right? Yeah,
I'll be so proud of my children.
You'll be the proudest daddy.
Say, Clara, hit that guy right there.
You have the Hardys now in AEW.
Yes, you do.
Don't they feel like an actual team.
Yes.
They haven't even done shit yet.
No.
But you just feel the presence of an actual legendary team.
Well, it helps
right
when...
well, they're not calling them the Hardy Boys.
Hardy Brothers is
the
what
Hardy
I think they're allowed to say.
Brothers.
Because I think technically WWE still owns the name of the Hardy Boys.
Yes.
Now, Impact used it, but back then, like I told people, even when Impact tried to do the back, they didn't give a shit about Impact.
No.
When Hulk Hogan and Dixie and
good
Vince
news.
Russo
And good news.
Shit.
And good news, Jeff can still dance, except he probably should have saved Matt. And
He probably should have waited.
that
shit was
I
hilarious.
love that memes. Like,
Jeff, you're
should I save my brother or dance?
Yeah,
dance.
Yep. Jeff, I love you, but you made the wrong call there.
See, I love my brother, but I would dance a little bit, see he get his ass kicked a little bit, and then I'd go help him.
But
I would do that for you, Zach. I would see
may
your
I
ass
speak
kicked,
now,
and then I'd say,
Jesse, or do you have one more thing to say about this, or may I speak?
You go, because
This match is the number one reason why I couldn't go to a 5 for this pay-per-view. This took it down almost an entire full star.
Oh, wow.
Because here's the deal. Jim Cornette said it. I'm going to repeat it for people that may have not heard it yet, but it deserves to be said on every show about the Bucks. They can work one style of match. They cannot work any other style. They don't know what they're doing. No one has trained them to do what they're supposed to. These guys are self-trained trampoline bitch heads. And this match, there was not only no selling, but it's a triple threat. And again, the moments that Pat Patterson was famous for was when the Royal Rumble like buzzer goes off, everyone needs to move to the corners, get to a corner or get out of the ring. Give somebody, if it's 15 seconds.
Right.
That's what Kane was great at, was like somebody comes in, gets the crowd pop, then Kane boots you and you're out. That's what Glenn was good at.
Right.
But by the way, Vince McMahon inducting The Undertaker, in my opinion, it has to. Especially with how they've shown their relationship over the last year, it has to.
We're talking about that later.
We'll talk about that. But anyway, but here's the deal. This match is proof positive why, and you and Eric are going to go back and forth about this next week, because he tries to convince me, because we talk about them, they're clearly the best in the world. And I'm like, no, the best in the world is on your roster, but you won't have that match. And you know what? Again, Jesse said, I think last week, at some point, Tony Khan is going to force the Bucks' hand, and we're going to get FTR versus the Bucks too. And hopefully Tony does the right thing and FTR goes over.
I agree.
But that's in the future, and Booker of the Year is going to have to figure it out.
I haven't watched a lot of Young Bucks matches, but they all are the same. The only one that I enjoyed was when they were against FTR. All the other wrestling ones I saw, it's the same.
They know how to work.
The same.
God has blessed you.
Yeah.
The wrestling gods have blessed your eyes.
Well, see, I grew up watching the Hart
Jesse has watched
Foundation.
them over 2 continents.
Yeah. Okay,
forget companies. He's had to watch them through 2 continents.
But did you forget who I grew up watching? Real tag teams.
I refuse to even give this person a
Real
shout out.
Tag teams.
Okay. I want to make something clear.
You know who I grew up watching.
Oh, yeah.
That's why I base it from.
I want to make something clear. We actually are going to give a lot of love, because we always do, to the wrestling channels on Facebook that give us our information. Right. PW Guru, the Pro Wrestling World. Right. We love those guys. We appreciate everything that they do. I don't want to say what page it was on, because they don't deserve this kind of heat. I'm not going to mention the person's name, but somebody had the fucking, I can't even say balls, because this doesn't take anything but just pure insanity.
Okay.
The comment was simply Bucks, the greater than symbol, Midnight Express.
Oh, they had to have been on crack. Nowhere.
Beautiful Bobby Eaton apparently can't even lace up the box.
I want those drugs.
Me too.
Because I would be happy in my life if I could take those drugs.
Well, no, I did something new that I'm happy with. I don't need to take drugs.
We'll talk about that later.
But
you know what? Because that's the kind of drugs that maybe they took in the 70s, and they were hallucinating a lot of shit. And and that's cool.
No, I think they could still think logically and would not ever think that is
and
really
I want
cruel.
Those drugs, because I think with those kind of drugs,
oh my God,
my Mondays would feel so great. Because I would just wake up.
But you would think it's Friday on Monday.
Every day
Probably.
would be Friday
there you
with
go.
those kind of drugs.
Every day would be something.
Oh,
every day would be something.
Everyone has an open chair to come here and defend the Bucks to me. But I'm going to tell you, and Eric will find out next week.
Even,
the video says we do the same sucky fucking shit every time we can. And we've made $1 million. And that's the problem.
But you know what? Some of the jobbers that got squashed by the Hart Foundation and the boys back, they were better than the Bucks because they actually could work and do stuff.
I will still stand by. Nick is actually a great worker.
He can be.
The other guy,
Matt
is an idiot.
Fucking annoying.
Yep.
Matt is annoying. He's definitely the bigger egotist in the.
See, I forget. He's the blonde hair or the dark hair?
So he's
black
the dark
hair.
He's the black hair.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. I get him confused sometimes.
Yeah, it's kind of hard too when they're flying around so much.
Yeah.
You know, if you're in the Rancho Cucamonga area, are you still proud of these guys and Brandon Cutler? You can't be. There's no way you can be.
Can we leave Brandon out for a minute? He wasn't a part of this shit show.
Yeah,
he's a jobber.
That'd be a compliment.
You know what?
That'd be a compliment.
Sorry, that's an insult to jobbers.
Yes.
Because he's less than that.
Because the Brooklyn Brawler you love.
I love.
You have love for
I
the
don't
Brooklyn
blame
Brawler.
Redragon.
Or we can ask Clara what her favorite who's your favorite tag team? Who's your favorite tag team? I'm guessing it's something to start with the new.
There you go.
Can you say it loud? Can you say it right here? So they can hear it. Come here. Come stand next to me. She's nervous. Say it so everybody can hear. Who's your favorite tag team?
New Day.
There we go. There we
But
go.
that's
I
because
raised
they
my
don't
kids
give
right.
you the same terrible. Listen, man.
They can work one style of match, and it's not a good style.
Yeah.
They can't.
Here's the thing, though. I seen the Super Juniors. Like I said, them for sure more than Kenny ever. Maybe they were definitely protected by New Japan's booking.
I feel like Jesse is going to move Gato from wrestling booker to magician because he hit a lot of shit.
Well, because the junior, like I said, I watched the junior leagues back when they were in there. They were great.
Yeah,
those matches were actually phenomenal.
So,
but
so it's kind of like he was like Mary Poppins there and went bippity boppity boo.
He might be a better booker than Vince, apparently. Because
you just botched 2 Disney classics. And how dare you, sir?
No,
Bippity Boppity Boo is Cinderella, you dumbass.
Oh,
and Mary
sorry.
Poppins is a fucking.
You know how many times I've seen all these? I just get them all clumped together.
Shit. That doesn't mean you have to embarrass yourself on friggin' radio.
Today I'm being fair to Leroy.
Hey, wait.
Talking about the Young Bucks will confuse you.
I can embarrass myself any way I can.
You know what, Leroy?
I've been around long enough.
That's
I
fair.
can.
That's beautiful, man. Let's move on to another match.
Okay, all right. Yes.
But to finish my point,
we're done with those shitheads.
This match took me out of giving it more than 4.5 because it wasn't a 5-star, clearly. But folks, if they add to a pay-per-view, it's a bad pay-per-view. If they add anything to a pay-per-view, and by the way, you took arguably the best tag team to resurface in the last 6 months, and you shit on it.
Because they have to have that feud, baby.
Redragon does not deserve. Redragon should have been champs night 1 because nobody would have been confused by it.
Right.
Because they know who the fuck Redragon is. And by the way, AB, who was a big fan of them. Okay, first of all, good luck finding a bigger fan of the Undisputed Era than Aaron Bowles. He loved them. Kyle O'Reilly is in less of a spot than he was in NXT.
He really is.
And it's so sad to say.
I would rather see Cool Kyle again.
And you hated that after 2 weeks. After 2 weeks, you hated Cool Kyle.
I was like, this guy sucks.
It wasn't that great.
But you'd rather see that than what they're doing with Redragon. All right, next match.
All right, the next match is the Face the Revolution ladder match for the future AEW TNT Championship.
No.
That's what it says on here.
No. You read that wrong.
What?
Hold on. Leroy, stop. Leroy, stop. Wikipedia, they got it wrong.
What?
It's the face of the pot shot Sonic the Ring match.
Oh, okay.
Because that's all this fucking match has ever been designed to be, is to grab a giant brass ring that looks like you got it from Walmart for Sonic the Hedgehog.
By the way, I want to throw it out there before we actually get into this match. The guy that they took out of this match and only kept it a 6-man ended up winning the TNT Championship anyway.
Jesse, remember when I said there's still shit to come? That's part of it.
There you go.
But anyway, hold on. Remember, this is the face of the pot shot Sonic the Ring match. That is what this officially is, because this match is for a brass. Why are we still doing this joke? Put a contract up there. Do something. Why are we still pot shotting in the middle? And by the way, folks, you damn near almost killed one of your favorite old school AEW. I can't even say old school, but one of your original AEW stars. You damn near killed the motherfucker, and even I don't think he deserved that.
Right.
Okay, I'll rephrase it. All right, this is a lovely ladder match where somebody can go get Sonic the Hedgehog's golden ring.
Thank you.
And
Wikipedia, you got that wrong.
There you go.
Somebody go edit Wikipedia and call it that.
If
you do, you're on the show.
We had Wardlow defeated Christian Cage, Keith Lee, Orange Cassidy, Power Hobbs, and Ricky Starks.
It's almost like somebody heard that nobody wanted Orange Cassidy in this match, even their fans, and they just decided to kill him to get him out.
Oh,
he's
man.
hurt, but he's legitimately hurt because he didn't just hit the floor; he hit the ramp.
But they're burying Keith Lee. I thought they would.
They're not burying him, but
they're not burying him. But
he is straight to the fucking mid card.
Not even straight to the mid card. He's straight to the lower mid card because he can't get a win.
Yeah, it's like you premiere him. What the heck?
To be fair,
he is undefeated. He lost.
No, Leroy.
Ladder matches don't count on your loss.
Whatever. It
only singles matches, tag team matches, and trios matches. If you're in a gimmick match, it doesn't count.
Wait a minute. When I play my video game, it's a loss.
Video games have more logic than AEW rankings. We proved that a couple months ago.
We
proved that a couple months ago.
But
yes, I'm happy for Adam. I think that he's finally getting some shine. He deserves it. He's put a lot of work in to become someone that I think they can trust in the ring.
I agree.
We've said he's powerbombed the hell out of smaller guys, but nobody got hurt.
No.
Everyone's been okay.
Right.
I think that Adam is somebody that I think there's a personality there, Jesse. Call me crazy. I don't think he's your typical big man bodyguard person. I think there's a real personality behind that.
There's a charm to him, too.
Yeah.
Which is going to go over very well.
My only problem is that why did he have to be in the pot shot match that they apparently have to have every year, and they can't just y'all tell us that they've stopped taking as many shots? Why does this thing's existed since the dawn of Revolution,
right? And
it's there every year,
right? I agree.
It's just. And by the way, to you AEW stands who like to deflect a lot, you bring up the pot shots, you will find anything else to talk about but the pot shots they give at WWE. And we'll talk about that in a little bit. But anyway, Leroy, I'm happy for Adam. It was the right outcome. Jesse, you did predict that.
So here's
other than Orange Cassidy being used as a bad lawn dart, good match.
Here's the three quick things I want to say about this before we move on.
He got freshly squeezed and it wasn't good.
Keith Lee got a lot of shine.
He did.
Be fair to him. Because, by the way, this is his first ladder match. People actually, in years, I keep thinking that he was a part of the original NXT North American champion.
He wasn't.
He was not.
He looked great. He should just be straight to the World Heavyweight Championship. But, hey, you know what? Not my company. Not my company. Nope. It's fine. It's fine.
Nope.
They're not as smart as us.
Also, Will Hobbs either do something with him or let the young man go do something with himself,
or let him go to dark and just work dark.
Well, he does that enough. Here's the thing. No one fucking watches dark.
True.
Besides idiots like me who just like to watch pro wrestling.
Yeah.
That's it. I'll watch it when the boys are on.
I'm telling you, if we ever get paid for this, Jesse's going to make more than Leroy and I, and we're going to be forced to accept that because Jesse's forced to watch the YouTube channel.
I watch a lot of pro wrestling.
You do.
So here's the thing.
That's all right.
Killing Orange Cassidy. Here's the thing I don't understand. Wasn't it like a year ago to last year, maybe a year and a couple of months, this man was a part of a world championship picture match?
He was
the
part
triple
of
threat?
Yeah, he was.
Jesse, let's be honest. Can we just say one thing? And again, I don't want to take a pot shot at the guy because he got hurt. Jesse, he's a gimmick that only goes so far, and even fucking Tony has to admit it now.
It's stupid because I'm like, well, I'm into it. Okay, if you're going to put him in a world title picture, all right, put him in the TNT, keep him in the mid-card. That's fine. But they don't even do that.
No.
So if you guys feel the same way Jim Cornette feels, don't you owe Jim Cornette an apology?
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
Because he's basically a mascot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So those are the
three
things I wanted to say about that.
I did not steal that line from Jim. I legitimately have always felt that the overall what the world thinks of AEW negatively, sadly, it's all been put on Orange Cassidy.
Yeah.
And it's not necessarily his fault.
No.
It's just he found something that worked for him.
Yeah.
And much like Danhausen, when they're the only two doing it, it works.
Yeah.
But when everyone's doing the same shit, all of a sudden, one dude who was always on television, Orange Cassidy, he's the guy who gets fucked over.
Yeah.
And it's not his fault
that
he, again, in wrestling, if you find your niche, fine.
Right.
I even say that to the Bucks. They just won't stop telling me about it. Orange Cassidy at least just fucking sits back and has action.
Right.
But my point is this. What was your third thing about the match?
Oh, it was Will Hobbs.
Oh, okay.
Do something with Will Hobbs. Every time I see him on a pay-per-view, he looks phenomenal.
Yeah.
And then they don't use him for anything else.
No.
Yeah. Hey, was Danhausen on this pay-per-view at all?
Ricky Starks.
No. He didn't? Okay.
Come on, man. I love you, Ricky. You can't convince me that they had bigger plans for you than what they have.
No. You can't.
NWA, he probably would have been holding Charlotte at some point. WWE,
he would have at least been. By the way, congratulations.
In Impact, I think he would have.
Congratulations to formerly Crimson,
right,
winning the national championship.
Yeah,
he probably would have been in the national championship picture.
Well, they were pushing him like a top heavyweight guy.
They were,
before
yeah.
He didn't re-sign his contract.
Yeah.
Impact, I think he would have been the world champion, or at least in the picture. I think in WWE, he'd be in the picture right now.
By the way, Jesse's very happy that Impact is finally giving him the world title match that he wanted so badly to happen.
Well, that just needs to happen. It just needed to happen.
That match might just burn down Nashville.
Here's the problem with Impact, though, because I know they're back on TV, quote unquote.
Yeah.
But it's on a channel not a lot of people have access to.
Access TV.
And that has to change.
Yep.
But yeah, otherwise.
But back to this. Just
otherwise, like Ricky Starks.
Hobbs has proven that out of nowhere, turning a guy heel, even though you turned him heel out of literally nowhere, he's made everything work.
Yeah.
And he's just sitting as. Okay, Jesse, I want you to rank them. Who is the all right? What's the order that they care about in Team Taz?
Well, clearly it's Hook now.
Yep.
Yeah, he's number one.
Then Ricky.
Yep.
Then Hobbs.
Yeah. And by the way, we're not mentioning a certain machine because he hasn't been on their television.
Not really
over
part
a
of
year.
it.
They just picked up his contract too. Why?
Didn't you report on the show that like he re-signed?
Yeah, he
officially
was the one
for a year.
He re-signed for a year. So if I don't see him in the next 3 months, that looks like a terrible fucking move.
Well, but to be fair, he's getting paid to sit at home, but so is 90% of this roster. Because here's the deal: you want to feature this whole roster, you're going to buy a lot more pay-per-view time than 4 hours.
Now it's different though because Miro is at home healing.
Yes.
So he had another unfortunately serious shoulder injury.
It was a setback injury. Yeah.
So he's been at home because people were like, "What happened?"
But let's move on because this match clearly was just a bunch of pot shots and misuse of talent.
It was fun. But
it was a misuse of talent.
Yeah. It's unnecessary.
Yeah.
All right. Next was the lovely ladies with the TBS Championship, where Jade Cargill defeated Tay Conte to retain her belt.
This match was not terrible.
I just thought this was quite good.
I think it could have been better.
No, it should have been better, but after the last few matches Jade has had, this was definitely a big improvement.
She needs
Can we
to work.
get a new producer for Jade, please?
So she doesn't miss spots? Is that
who's ever producing with Jade?
She's been working with Brian, though. She's been working with Brian Danielson. So the missed timings is odd now because that's a guy who works cleanly, quickly.
Yes. And by the way, I have never, and I'm serious, never in my life, and I've seen tape on some of the greatest sports stars of all time, some of the greatest actors of all time. Never in my life have I seen a human being who just effortlessly does what they do more than the American Dragon, Brian Danielson.
Wow.
I mean, Rigo's right. He's probably the best professional wrestler on the planet. Has been the last 15 years. There's really no question about it.
Yeah.
But I thought the match was fine.
Yeah.
The kiss of death caught me off guard too.
Caught a lot of us off guard.
Was not ready for that.
No.
But I thought overall really fun match. Jay gets the point of being a heel.
Yeah.
Awesome little tribute to Mortal Kombat.
Yep.
I thought Ty Conti.
Great guitar playing, by the way. African American guitar player.
I forget the name.
Yep.
Off the top of my head.
But
it was kind of a shock to see that band out there. So good on them to have them there.
Yeah. Well, Tony will license real music all the time.
Right.
One of the few credits I give him is that he actually licensed stuff.
And then of course Ty Conti.
If I had money like that, I would too.
Ty Conti is a superstar. So I mean, there's really, as far as in the ring. So there's really not a whole lot to say about this match. Good match, fun match. Outcome I was expecting. Because they're not going to take that title off of her quite yet.
No,
because there is a big negative coming up with the other women's title coming up. So,
Yeah, I agree.
Wow,
well, that's not yet.
Oh, wow, did that picture get awful.
And we'll get to that.
Which one?
With Britt Baker,
with
but
Britt
we'll
Baker.
get to that.
Now to what I thought was the highlight of the evening.
The dog collar match?
Which was then ruined later, but I'll explain. Go ahead, Leroy.
It was the CM Punk dog collar match with MJF, with CM Punk getting the win.
First time.
Go ahead.
This might be no, Jesse. No, get ready, because here's the deal. This might be my first time ever saying this for AEW. This was El Steen. The match itself was just good.
I thought it was phenomenal.
I thought this is arguably this was the best cap, and it should be the end of this feud. It should be, and I hope it is.
Yeah.
But here's the deal. This was the best capping to a story they've ever done. Hats off to him.
The only thing I will agree with,
but hats off to him, because I don't think Tony had much say in any of this.
The match should have probably ended 2 minutes earlier. They kind of dragged out a couple things.
Well, now you see my point that you can still enjoy it, but feel like maybe it went a little too long.
But otherwise, I mean, I still give it 5 stars. I thought it was phenomenal.
Yeah, it was a fantastic match. Absolutely
26
fantastic.
minutes. That's what they
had.
Yeah,
it felt longer, to be honest. But Punk coming out to his old music. I mean, everyone else got emotional about it. I don't know. It's so weird knowing about all that old ROH stuff, because, like, even back then, like, he was a big-time deal, but he became a much bigger deal when he got to WWE. So I don't know. I guess the music didn't connect with me. So, like, because I heard the AFI song coming, and I'm like, oh, this is old music, cool. But I saw everyone getting emotional. I'm like, why? But that's just me.
And by the way, look, this is my music guy coming out. This is not a wrestling thing. I'm the boys who play Cult of Personality over AFI all day. I got nothing against AFI, but living color over AFI any day of the week.
But otherwise, I mean, the story they told.
I do agree.
Wardlow's face turn, which, like I said, should have came sooner. But otherwise, I thought this was absolutely phenomenal. I really have nothing negative to say.
Yeah, no, it was phenomenal. Absolutely loved everything about it.
By the way, this is a match Cody actually would have on a pay-per-view.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird that it feels like they're going to use CM Punk to do everything that they probably wanted to do with Cody.
Oddly enough. Anyway, here's the deal. Leroy.
The next one you got.
And then after
your
the
favorite
pay-per-view was over. Hold on.
No.
Are we going to wait for that?
Oh,
I said there's more shit coming.
Okay.
I said there's more shit coming.
We'll do the afterbirth.
Let's finish the show. Because again, Jesse, this is the nice part. We got some good meat this time. We went to Katz's. We got some nice shaved down, nice and thin. But the bread's a little rough today. The bread's been left out a little while.
Bread's fucking hard.
Yeah.
We'll find some poop here, as you
said. Which,
said.
by the way, folks, I want to point something out. Based on every review that's ever come out since the dawn of their existence, there has never been a bad roll in Katz's Deli.
Right.
That's true.
Jesse,
That's true.
Jesse would like to find anyone that gives Katz's Deli a negative review and be like, did you actually eat there?
Did you go to the right restaurant? Go ahead.
Right.
All right.
You can order, by the way, their meats through DoorDash.
Yeah.
And they'll deliver it within 3 days.
Oh, damn.
We should do that, actually.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
All right. Now it's for the AEW Women's World Championship with our lovely DMD
I know she's
beating Thunder Rosa.
I know she's hurt, Jesse.
Zach, you go first because I'm going to... This is another one that for me was so negative I couldn't give the full pay-per-view.
I know she's hurt, but if it's a workable injury, you could have taken the title off her in a couple of weeks, let her heal up. We said Thunder Rosa should have win, and Jesse, what pisses me off is, and I know you got more to say, but right now you and I back to last week when it was the two of us. I said it was a joke, and a lot of people kind of glossed over it, not because of you, because you obviously said what you had to say, but she's gonna be women's champion in a year, and no one's gonna fucking know, because no one remembers the build-up to this. Nobody remembers why Thunder Rosa was in the match. It was just a dream match between two great female wrestlers, but it's time. Cut the cord, take the belt off her, because no one cares about this reign anymore. And by the way, I'm not even joking. Go back and watch. If they weren't the fucking front row, the majority of the crowd did not give a fuck about this match. And Jesse, I went back and watched multiple times. That crowd could give two shits about this. And by the way, as of this past week's AEW Dynamite, which arguably was the worst follow-up to a pay-per-view damn near ever, No one gives a shit about Mercedes Martinez either, but that's nor here nor there.
It's kind of like a Kenny Omega reign here for her, Britt Baker, or what?
No, because...
Or worse.
No, because here's the deal. Kenny never got over. Britt's at least gotten herself over.
Britt got herself over.
Kenny was never over in America, and Jesse even has to admit that. But Jesse, you have a lot of shit to say about this. My only thing about it is she'll be champion in a year, and we'll still be talking about whoever the TBS champion is, because no one gives a fuck about the AEW Women's title anymore.
Number one. Just take the goddamn title off of her. You're going to on a Dynamite anyway. Just take the title off of her. Why did you waste my time?
Well, but Jesse, their plans got canceled. Brandy Rhodes isn't there anymore.
Why would you waste my time?
We don't need
this
Brandy.
Match. I'm not even mentioning Brandy. I know he's joking, but I'm not mentioning Brandy.
Yes.
She's out of pro wrestling. That's the best thing she's done so far. Why would you waste my time even booking this if you weren't going to put the thing on Thunder Rosa? If the injury's workable, and you know it's workable, you can put the title on her. It's not like you need her to wrestle the next month.
No.
You go let her heal herself. You can let her come back. You only have pay-per-views like every 4 months anyway.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
As far as we know, AEW doesn't have a quote-unquote 30-day rule.
Number 2.
Yeah.
This is what kills a champion. Constant fucking interference. Now, at some point, you have to just get a clean win.
And that's what's weird. And by the way, I want to point this out, not take over. Despite what happened a couple of times, Roman has some legitimate wins on his resume to prove that the interference happens a lot, but he's had title matches against some big names where he has kind of taken care of business. So you can't say this is the Reigns booking because this has happened in every single DMD match since the dawn of this faction.
The faction was the worst thing to happen to her.
The sad part is Jamie Hayter's getting more love than the fucking champion.
Because here's the thing:
through the internet,
when you did this and you created the faction, you started to hurt Britt because she didn't really need Reba's help to win.
No,
she was finding a way to cheat and win on her own, and that's a better heel because that means they're finding a way to win on their own. If I watched Thunder Rosa win this championship this week, somebody should go slap Tony Khan. Because why would you waste my fucking time and put it on the pay-per-view? Number 3.
Could I do it anyways?
Yeah, you can.
Okay, all right.
Number 3. Why are you wasting Thunder Rosa's time? Now this feels like a dead feud. And she's probably going to get the championship next week. And you've kind of killed all of Thunder Rosa's momentum. Good job. Good job. Phenomenal stuff, guys.
There we go.
Phenomenal. Also, putting it after that match, the dog collar match.
Why wasn't
before?
You and I said it?
Great job,
Jesse.
Booker of the year, he did so
good.
good.
Booker of the year, that guy.
Jesse, you and I said last week, how is the dog collar match not the main event?
And I don't want to hear shit about
I agree with you
Becky
there,
Lynch and Doudrop being after a hot match. You want to know why? Because we all know who was going to win that.
There was no question.
There was no question Becky Lynch was going to retain, so it didn't matter.
Here's the deal. That match, no offense to Piper because we love Piper's work.
Right.
No offense. She probably even knew I'm not going to get that big of a reaction.
I agree.
Wherever I was on that card.
I agree.
She knew it. But anyway, Leroy, what's next? Because Jesse wants nothing to do with the women's championship.
Right. Done with it.
All right, we get a better one.
Hikaru Shida's reign was better, and it's actually getting to that point.
Hikaru Shida returning was the best thing to happen to the women's division last week.
But the next one was our good buddy Mox against Mr. Danielson, and Mox picked up the win over Mr. Danielson.
To me, this is Elstein. I mean, in a physical way, they were going to beat the shit out of each other.
Oh, God,
and then
yes.
I seeing William there, fucking amazing. I like that they're going to go through with this faction.
Yeah. Sadly, they're taking Daniel Garcia out of it. We'll explain that in a little bit. But Jesse will get mad later about that.
We'll talk about that later. Speaking of stupid
we got
time.
shots.
Yeah.
But
this might be a somewhat long show, but hey, we're actually talking about Revolution, so you can't say that we don't talk about shit we like in AEW.
And by the way, once again, this is actually a banger match.
Yeah.
So I mean, no negative.
Like I said, there's at least 2 or 3 segments.
You look at the 2 people that are doing it too.
But here's the deal. This is what Jon Moxley should have done the day he left WWE. Is the more TV he should work with a Bryan Danielson. He can go to GCW. I'm not mad about it.
Right.
But this proves that there is something in Jon Moxley that if he's willing to do it, he can work a match that isn't gimmicked out.
Oh, yeah.
That's the problem with deathmatch is you have to accept that it's a gimmicked out match, which is why, as Jesse likes to point out, GCW is a very big melting pot of wrestling.
Yeah.
But you know the deathmatch is coming because that's what you paid the money to get in to see. But they give you palate cleansers.
Yes, they do.
But John can work, but so far, and I hate to say it, if anyone will find it, it'll be Tony Khan. I don't know who can work a bad match with Bryan Danielson, because so far Jesse has to sadly check Allie off the list of people how do you have a bad match with, because that already happened.
Couldn't believe that happened.
Serena Deeb has been checked off of Jesse's list of how do you have a bad match, because she's had some bad matches based on booking. Hopefully we never get to Bryan Danielson getting checked off, but Jesse, if anyone will find it, it'll be the Booker of the Year.
It'll be the Booker of the Year.
But I'm very happy for William. Like I said, William left in the most gentleman-like fashion he could. He wanted to do a little more. WWE probably didn't want to, and that's fine. They got plenty of use out of William over the years, and it is what it is.
Yeah, it's getting a paycheck.
Yeah, I was happy for William. Right. And by the way, that is still a man I am very fearful of. I would never fuck with that man.
He is a dirty little scoundrel, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
Oh,
all right, Leroy, what else we got?
All right, then, and this came one of the scariest spots I saw, and I don't understand why the hell he did it. But oh well. We had the 6-man tornado tag team match with Darby Allin, Sammy, and Sting defeating the Andre Hardy family. And God, why in the hell?
You forgot to say the Andre family Hardy organization.
Office, it says.
Office, yes, office.
But
Andrade
why,
Hardy family organization.
Why?
Office. Yeah.
Why is a 62-year-old man that shouldn't be jumping off shit into tables doing this?
Because he's now, fuck it, I'll say it. Because now he's fucking Jericho. He's trying to fucking be part working with the kids.
Like, come on,
that's what this shit was. I don't give a fuck.
I want you to see you get older, Sting, not die. Oh my God!
You think his wife was happy about this? You think his son was happy seeing this?
He probably didn't tell him.
Let me make two things clear.
Like Brian wasn't told about the spot at MAW.
Let me make two things very, very clear.
Your son enjoyed the spot.
Yes.
Number one, if they're going to let Sting die on their watch, that's going to be on their conscience. That's on them. Number two, if Sammy dies with him, at some point you just tell a wrestler, dude, no.
Yeah.
Dude, no.
You're never gonna be their Randy Orton if you keep doing stupid shit like that. You're gonna be the Mick Foley who probably lost.
Has to retire early in your career.
Well, we know Darby probably will.
Darby's gonna die, but
Darby's out of wrestling in 2 years. We already know this.
I've accepted that either he's gonna retire at 30
or be dead,
or he's gonna die on TV.
Yeah.
And I can't, like I told people, I can't cry about it because now I've set myself up for it. Because he said it.
Yeah.
So since he said it, I'm just setting myself up for it. The match I thought was fun.
Yeah.
Sting does not need to be doing that.
Oh, hell no.
End of discussion.
God, no.
Number two, yes, those guys took most of the brunt of the jump. So I get technically he was in safe working hands. And those are safe working hands. Andrade is a professional.
Yes.
And Hardy is a professional. Those guys understand how to take a bump. But the Sammy spot is what pissed me off more.
Yeah.
Stop letting him do that.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is we lost Owen Hart.
Yep.
Because Vince never stopped him from doing shit like that. And then after Owen Hart passed away, every now and then he would tell the high flyers, no. Like you did that at Mania, you're not doing it on Raw.
No.
I don't care.
No.
Now, like I told people,
to clarify, what's your point about Owen? Because we know that Owen passed away due to an unfortunate set accident. Right. But please, for the people who are probably scratching their head a little bit, clarify the Owen situation.
So Owen was always kind of a daredevil wrestler.
He was.
To kind of do like the high spots.
I would say Owen Hart is the prime example of. Not only was he the greatest Hart family member, athletically,
yes.
He sadly, I think, knew it and had an ego about it. But go ahead, Jesse.
Because the death came from an accident from the entryway. Yeah. But it was his idea to do the entryway for the character, and Vince regretted that because he said a part of me had a bad feeling about it, but nothing that had ever gone wrong. So now when you lose a guy like that, now your second thoughts always go like, So the second time they had a
TLC
match.
And to clarify, you're not telling Owens' family that they have to feel
no.
any certain way.
I'm just talking about for the booker themselves.
Yeah.
So Tony Khan.
Yeah.
They protected Jeff Hardy because remember they did a TLC match on Raw with the Dudleys, the Hardys, and Edge and Christian, and they told him if you're gonna do a bump off of a ladder, you're gonna use the shorter ladder.
Yeah.
Because we already watched you damn near break your neck at Mania. Now, luckily, you were okay. It was a safe spot because they put a little padding underneath the table.
Yeah.
But on Raw, because of where they were, that padding wasn't thick enough, so they made him jump off of a shorter ladder into the ring.
Yep.
Protect the wrestler from himself.
Oh,
Sammy Guevara's just I'm Shane McMahon. I'm going to just try to jump out the highest thing possible, and you'll die.
Yeah.
So, here's the thing. The like I said, the Sting one did not get to me as bad because I was like, you know what? That is Andrade. That is Matt Hardy.
Yeah.
They clearly fully caught him.
They could have done something different.
Right. Could they have done something different?
Sting could have stayed up there. He could have grabbed.
By the way,
wasn't it Matt Hardy that was up there with him, right?
But the fan recorded video. So as you can see with the fan recorded video, Andrade caught both of them.
Yes.
And Matt took most of the brunt on his back.
And by the way, folks.
So Sting actually didn't even take.
And by the way,
much of a
folks,
bump on that.
They could have just thrown Matt on there on top of him, and he could have stood there and said, "Ha."
And the people on the internet who were like, "Well, clearly Sting was fine. What was WWE's problem?" No, he had an actual problem.
Right.
WWE just didn't want to take the risk because guess what? They've got more to lose than AEW because there's not billions of dollars in AEW. If there was, we'd have a video game by now.
I don't know. Unfortunately, I probably would have to get it.
But like I said, I understand an old school fan
for scientific
like yours.
purposes.
Yes, for scientific purposes, see if it's better than that one and see if my kids like it. Because I might go, this one sucks, Dad.
To give the old school fans credit, I understand why you don't want to see Sting doing that. But to me, the Sammy spot was more egregious because he keeps fucking daring himself to do something worse.
Yeah.
And it's just like every now and
then.
And
the booker's letting him.
Right.
Yeah.
Every now and then you go to the 25-year-old kid, no. Or young man, and you go, no.
Yeah, I don't want to see. I don't want to see that happening either. With him and Darby, I don't want to see that happen. I want them to keep wrestling.
Kevin Owens has talked about how Vince has gone to him after they've done a really cool ladder spot or something, and then maybe he wants to do something again like that, and Vince goes, "Kevin, I need you for the next 10 years, not the next 2 months."
Yep.
So I gotta say no.
And I think after double knee surgery, I think it started to click for Kevin Steen. Okay.
He's protected Sami Zayn a lot because remember those two guys were daredevils.
We got to show you Ladder Wars because I'm
gonna go look it up. I'm gonna look it up.
And he's protected his wrestlers. Now I know people think he always cuts them. Yeah, but he protects them first.
Yeah.
Because they're also an investment. So you protect the people you care about. You protect that talent.
Yeah.
You go to them, especially Sammy, who should now that he lost the title, take a month or two off.
It's not like he ain't got something to go home to. That joke's been made 1,000 times.
Yeah. But
I'd buy that for $1.
And you tell him from now on, no high spots for a while. We're not doing that anymore because you're not going to heal. There's going to be a point you're going to break something that you can't heal.
Yeah.
But things go wrong in pro wrestling all the time.
But as we've learned, Tony Khan, I don't think he's ever said no once. And show me, Jesse. Jesse pointed out when we talked about.
Well, he has, which is exactly why Cody's gone.
True. All right.
Well, at least say no once.
Leroy, this has been a long segment, but it was a long pay-per-view. What else we got?
The last one.
Wow, we're actually there.
Yeah, the last match. Where somebody that should not, the Adam and Adam match for the belt, and Adam won.
Page won.
Page.
Damn it, Adam.
Sorry. Damn it, Adam lost to Adam.
I couldn't allow the joke to go on for so long because people would have been confused and shit. Like, what are they talking about? Yeah, Page won.
Can we start at the entrance? This is proof that Adam Cole left because he's playing with his buddies.
Yeah.
And himself.
I got nothing against it. It's a pay-per-view. It's slightly bigger, but dude. Really? Come on. I know your fans knew it, but there's a lot of wrestling fans that don't remember the old school Halo. I love the old school Halo. I'm fine with it, but did it fit in this match? Did it have anything to do with it? At least when Kenny did his sort of Terminator thing at Wrestle Kingdom, there was a fucking build-up to it.
Oh, yeah.
It's just, Jesse, they're playing with their friends, and they're doing whatever they want on any night. That's what the Elite is now doing. That's all this is. And once again, I want to point out to the internet, yeah, you got me on, hey, he's a credible champion in the ring. He ain't credible anywhere else. The wrong person won. Sorry.
Well, like I've said, and I'll continue to say, he went there for 2 reasons: love and friendship, and that's fine.
Yeah.
But the best of his career is done. I've accepted that.
And now on to Paige. We have to continue this friggin' hemorrhoid that this is.
Well, I'm half and half on the hemorrhoid, and I've actually had hemorrhoids, and they hurt.
Yeah, they do suck.
They hurt a lot.
They're a pain in the ass.
Literally. Here's the thing. Number one, he actually needed a win like this to seem like a viable champion. Number two, he has to beat CM Punk next.
Yep.
Because if he doesn't beat Punk, then you basically wasted Adam Cole for no reason.
Yep.
Because now that was his first official loss. Yep. As I rolled my eyes into the mic.
Yep.
So good match. I was actually a little shocked at the outcome because I did predict that Cole would win. But he has to beat CM Punk. Otherwise, this does not matter.
I agree.
Now, if he beats CM Punk and he beats him cleanly, and a little decisively, I would hope.
Yeah.
Then you can make Adam a more viable champion.
I agree. But
you have to start now.
Well, but you also have to do a real build, not just throw Lance Archer in there for 2 weeks for no goddamn reason other than the fact that Lance wanted a title shot.
You want to talk about someone who's wasted in AEW.
We'll get to that later. Now it's time for the fact that, yes, I gave it a 4, 4.25.
I gave it a 4.2.
Leroy, did you watch it?
No, I'm sorry. I have something that's preoccupying my time every once in a while.
And we know what it is, and we're perfectly happy with that.
Being sexy, it's fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
Did sexy.
Anyway, now it's time to finish this shit sandwich because I am tired of the shit sandwich.
Okay, what happened
First and foremost, Phillip Brooks, shut the fuck up.
This might be the most petty fucking man of all time.
You know,
why do you have to keep mentioning WWE?
It's funny that he brought up Brett because I think he's surpassed Brett as the most curmudgeon, old, pissed off dude in wrestling.
He's the worst now.
Why?
Okay.
Who cares if WWE? Now, hold on, time out. You're happy that the library is going to someone that's actually going to use it. For what? There's no wrestlers.
Yeah.
They're all contracted somewhere else now. Jesse said it himself. Impact's not letting Honor No More leave.
Right.
They signed their asses.
They're there.
You old curmudgeon piece of shit idiot.
So basically what this fucking idiot decided to do, because they do...
How many... Which shot? It took like 7 of them.
They really do...
I heard about the comment about he had about what Vince would have done if he would have bought ROH.
Oh my God, he would have used the library for Peacock.
He would have been on the cock.
Who gives a shit?
Where is it in AEW? Tell me. It's going to be on Bleacher Report?
Nowhere right now.
So I got to pay $5 for Bleacher Report. I'm already paying $5 for Peacock.
Here's what's even worse.
I thought you were paying 10.
No, I'm still doing the 5 thing. I didn't up my tier when they brought me over.
I'm doing it for free because I have cable right now.
Yeah,
but
fair enough.
Which helps.
Yeah.
When you have cable, you can do it.
I don't have cable. I just watch.
But by the way, I pay way too much for cable. Fuck you, Spectrum. We love you, Spectrum. Fuck you, Spectrum.
Not really.
Here's the thing.
I think I pay less for all my streaming services.
Yeah.
Who gives a shit? You guys, why don't you just celebrate the fact that Tony bought it? You could have just been like, listen, I'm just happy Tony has it. We're going to actually get to see a new version of Ring of Honor.
Financially, it's actually a really dumb decision, but...
Well, besides that. But there's other ways you could have
promoted
Tony's move. But no!
No! Leroy, sorry, Jesse, but Leroy, they lost $280,000 in the last 2 years of Ring of Honor. Theoretically, he could have paid $100,000, and it would have been more than what Ring of Honor was worth.
Oh, okay, yeah. All right.
But go ahead, Jesse.
I think Vince and them only offered like $10 million for it, though. So
it's still more than technically.
I think the library is worth quite a bit. But otherwise,
was Tony bidding against himself? You think
probably
at that point? Yeah,
probably. But yeah, here's the thing. I have no problem with you promoting the fact that he got Ring of Honor. Promoting your aftermatch with MJF.
It's proof that you can't get over without Vince anymore.
By the way, the other big thing I'm really sick of in this so-called sports-based fucking presentation. You're not New Japan.
Yeah, no.
That's what these are.
Yeah, no, your post-match things suck.
These suck ass.
They had a press concert afterwards?
That's what they're basically.
That's what we're talking about.
Yeah, they basically
I didn't know
New
that.
Japan.
This wasn't a promo. This was a fucking. He was talking to the sports media people.
Why?
By the way, it wasn't even sports media. It was like Dave, Sports Kita. Like, it's not even sports media.
There were like 6 people there.
We're like, Bushiroad literally owns sports media in Japan.
Yeah.
So it's literally newspapers and shit covering New Japan.
Well, that's because in New
biggest
Japan
company in the world.
they take
in their world. Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's different, and that's really neat.
The after pay-per-view presser.
That's really fun to watch.
And by
those.
the way, like Leroy said in his rant, they're feeding you questions. Don't act like this is a hard-hitting question.
You kind of took the time to promote Swerve, who debuted on the pay-per-view.
Oh yeah, no.
Oh,
no.
no.
We totally forgot that Swerve is now officially All Elite. Totally forgot about that. Oh wait, we didn't forget. You did.
Well, it's another debut. Who cares?
It was so funny too because after the pay-per-view,
and Tony Schiavone had his clipboard, so it showed who it was.
Right?
Yeah.
So him and Tony come out and said, and I'm like, you know what? I kind of want to hear what CM Punk has to say because it'd be interesting to see how he post-promotes this match because I figure they're going to move on from this and Punk will probably start looking towards...
He didn't set shit up. All he
No,
did was
just shot at WWE.
Yeah, that's all it was.
Now
we have to get into what Tony's been saying.
By the way, apparently, I hate to say this, Stephanie was right 7 years ago. Go ahead and chant CM Punk at WWE shows. Do it for 1 minute and 20 seconds. You'll last longer than his UFC career.
Yep.
Why are you constantly taking shots at them?
They don't even talk about you anymore.
They don't give a shit about you.
No, they don't.
They give so much of a shit about you. The only thing I don't like the WWE did do recently was the fact, and I think, but I also think Jim might be a bit of a curmudgeon.
Yeah.
Was at first they have taken out his commentary on the Undertaker, and I don't like that.
Yeah, I
agree. I believe at the Hall of Fame it will be back.
Yes.
Like you'll hear the commentary about the Undertaker from Jim because he is a big part of telling the story. But otherwise, they literally show footage of former guys in AEW. They literally have AEW guys in their game right now. That's how little they give a shit about you. Now, Vince is very positive on you in the interview because he was just like, well, listen, I think them being around is a good thing. Yeah. So he was actually very positive publicly. I don't think he gives a shit.
I very much. I got to watch his whole interview with Pat.
That
was great, yeah.
But no, now we got to move on to Tony. Tony, Big Swole called your ass out. You got caught. You've changed your champions over, and you're doing it because somebody called your ass out. Right. It's not organic. We know it's not. Shut the fuck up.
Because he was toiling away on fucking Dark Elevation.
And his podcast.
And his great podcast, by the way. Yeah. I actually do like the podcast.
You do.
I like Ethan. Good guy. I got to meet him once years ago at a YouTube con.
Yeah.
But he's been toiling. And now all of a sudden, he's TNT champion.
With both belts.
But no, he retired one of them finally.
Oh, thank God. Thank God.
So he's only carrying around one?
Yeah, so on Rampage, he only had one. Thank God.
Christ.
But yeah, he's been toiling, and now he's TNT champion.
Out of nowhere.
Interesting.
Yep.
It's like, honestly, who cares?
Also, funny how it works that you see more women after you stupidly got mad at a woman question asking about why the women aren't seen more, and then you got fucking offended. Now all of a sudden this year, because you've been taking heat for 7 months, now we see women more. Just interesting things. Tony.
Have you ever noticed that when Vince got criticism, there was a slow change? It wasn't an instant change. He came around to the idea of more women on the show. He gave African-American men the opportunity to shine, but it was organic. He gave them a build that didn't just fucking happen after toiling away on YouTube for fucking 7 months.
Also, what also helped with
Tony,
Vince was
you're a shady motherfucker. That's all you are.
Yeah, he is.
You're a shady motherfucker.
Because what also used to help with Vince was Triple H and NXT.
Yeah.
Because I think even seeing what Triple H was doing in NXT back then, he would go, yeah, we got to do better.
Yeah.
And so he organically changed. But yeah, this shit, all of a sudden, this man's your second best champion after toiling away for that long for no fucking reason. I'm just saying.
Shady motherfucker. Tony, you do something that we praise, and then you go and you open your fucking mouth and you do this.
You know, since we're here, let's just get into Dynamite. So
number one, It was actually worse than the Dynamite. It was actually worse in ratings than the Go Home Dynamite.
Yes, it was.
It also, once again, you couldn't follow up a pretty much a really good, great pay-per-view. Yeah. You couldn't follow up with $1 million? Really?
Not even close, by the way.
Really? You didn't even come close. By the way, what was the number one thing that I heard everyone in the PWL talking about? Too much talking. Holy shit, I thought Vince was the only one that did.
Right.
This Dynamite, arguably, and I'm sure if we did the research we could find, but there's hundreds and hundreds of Raws and SmackDowns to look over. Following a pay-per-view, one of the worst shows I've ever seen follow a pay-per-view. This was such trash. It was so garbage. There was no point in this goddamn show that I said to myself, oh, we just came off one of the biggest shows of the year. I never thought that for one fucking second. You guys have no idea. And again, they proved it when they debuted Adam Cole and then Bryan Danielson. You have no idea what momentum fucking is. No. You don't know what the fuck momentum does. No. E equals MC squared means nothing to you motherfuckers.
And Hardy showed up. Yeah, so?
He showed... So?
It's about it.
He fucking announced that like 3 weeks ago.
AEW debuts people so often on Dynamite and shit like that. I don't care.
Right.
You can't.
Because I'm like, oh, yeah, he's there. Oh, Wheeler, oh, yeah. Keith Lee. Oh, yeah. No, you have to stop. There's too much. There's too many people. They don't know what to do. They ain't got time to do. And how many people have said that? You have such a big roster. You do not have the time.
Their fans are starting to fucking see it.
Yeah.
That's the thing, Jesse. The reports, like most people like us, we've given up saying that unless someone else brings it up.
Right.
But your own fans are saying it now.
Yeah. I mean, come on. You don't have to sign everybody that leaves WWE. There's no point to it.
And the sad part about it is, on a show that was so bad, our boy Dante got some shine.
He did. He got a title shot. On a show that
was just so piss poor.
I'm happy he got a shine like that. It was great.
No. And I'm happy he got that shine.
Yeah.
Why?
Oh no! You want to know why? Because he's in their top 5 rankings.
He's in their top 5.
So the rankings matter all of a sudden.
Well, I'm glad they actually did one nice thing.
He was one of the hottest things going. You try to put him with Leon Rush, it was going okay, but then Leon Rush does what Leon Rush does, and now Leon Rush isn't there anymore.
We're not even saying Leo because it's just Leon.
He's Leon to me now.
Also...
And then he just gets a random title shot.
And now it's time for
his brother's back, too. So
Jesse was mad about this, so now it's time to give Jesse his moment. Jesse, your boy Daniel Garcia is now a fucking jobber.
This is Chris Jericho that I'm talking about.
Yep.
This is why.
This new faction.
The Jericho Appreciation
Who the hell is in this faction?
It's a fucking pot shot at WWE yet again.
Yep. Who's in this faction?
So
2.0, Daniel Garcia, and Jake Hager.
Yeah, so it's Jericho, Jake Hager, 2.0, and Daniel Garcia. What a waste of Daniel Garcia this is.
Daniel Garcia was mentioned by the fucking American Dragon. He was in a match with the American Dragon. You teased it, pulled the rug out from under us. Gave us nothing. And you didn't. You just... And out of nowhere, where was the association between Daniel Garcia and 2.0 and Hager and Jericho?
Just out of nowhere.
Until tonight.
Just out of nowhere.
Until this night.
Out of nowhere. Here's the thing, Leroy.
Or somebody, they showed a picture of the inner circle, and then they showed his the outer circles, they called them.
I called them the belly button.
Good news, Jesse. Bleacher Report's back on their bullshit. They gave that segment with Jericho and Eddie, where they debuted the Appreciation Society. Yeah, they gave it a B.
A B?
For bullshit.
Oh my
bullshit. Like I'm sitting there.
Can we give it a C for crappy?
I was doing my delivery, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna throw on Dynamite as I'm doing delivery because it's kind of slow tonight. And I'm listening to the show because I have the TNT app / TBS app, and I'm listening to the promo. And I'm like, no fucking way is this going where I think it's going. And then as soon as I heard like 2.0 came out, I'm like, he's going to be aligned with them.
Yeah.
And then as soon as he started cutting the promo about why, and I can hear him like yelling at Jake Hager, I go, this is another fucking pot shot at WWE. We're entertaining. We're going to be entertainment. You already fucking were. Do you just accept that you've been sports entertainment this whole time so we can please move the fuck on? Like, I haven't seen people in denial like this for this long since my buddy from my band. Like, bro, like, you cheated. She broke up with you. It's your fault. Let's learn to move on, right? We're 2 years later, bro. There's a reason you're still single, man. It's your fault. Move on. AEW, your sports entertainment, bro. Move on. Why are we still doing this? What, like, this is the shit with AEW that makes other people, like, I see it in the PWL now. I see it on PW Guru, where even some of their fans go, see, this is the shit I hate.
Yeah.
Like, this is the shit I hate.
Oh, yeah. I totally agree.
Like, what are you doing? This is WCW type shit. Oh, by the way, this wasn't even the worst segment on the show.
According to Bleacher Report, the worst segment on the show was actually the Hardys.
What?
According to Bleacher Report.
Oh, because
the Hardy moment.
Because Jeff danced. Because he danced too much.
Hold on. It's a tie. It's a tie between the emergency board meeting and, oddly enough, Layla Hirsch versus Thunder Rosa got a C+.
Just because they weren't into it doesn't mean it was bad.
See, that's the problem. They listen to the audience a little too much. They do. They do.
Yeah.
They listen to the audience in the arena too much. That doesn't make a moment bad.
Right.
Just because they don't fucking know what they're watching. Arguably one of the best matches you could have had.
And yeah, Layla Hirsch lost, but the fact that they've put her on Thunder Rosa's level is huge.
Yeah.
So I can't believe I'm giving him credit, but credit to him for doing that. Like, because my God, Chris Jericho, I understood when he punched the woman in the face back in 2012 for coming up to him, basically spitting on him and calling him a piece of shit.
Yeah.
No problem. He didn't deserve it because he was just like, listen, back the fuck off. I'm trying to go. You kept pushing him, and he did what he needed to do to defend himself.
I hate to say it. It's the Joe Mixon situation, Jesse.
Right.
Joe Mixon did everything he could in that situation
to avoid doing what he did.
But in the end,
he had...
I hate to tell you, male, female, or whatever you identify as, somebody pushed you too far.
You're going to get hit in your shit.
You're going to swing.
You're going to catch some hands.
Yeah.
But Jericho deserves an ass whooping. Because you're over 50 years old now. You're too old for this bullshit. You're too old for this. Just be done with these constant shots. You're going to go into their Hall of Fame at some point anyway.
Yeah.
You're going to kiss and make up, Jericho.
Yeah.
You're going to kiss Vince's ass as the joke went back in 2007. Everybody does.
Yeah.
And you're going to go into the Hall. But I'm like, this
for some strange reason, because I believe they announced this match, we didn't have a Page came out and talked about his win, and then Dante was the upstart who came out and had a nice cheeky, hey, I'm here type of thing.
Here's the thing, they announced it. By the way, they pulled a WWE because they announced it like 2 hours before the show.
Yeah.
Which I had no problem with, but I was just like, wait, why?
Yeah.
Like, I love Dante. I love his brother.
Yeah, no, we love Top Flight.
I'm just like, wait a minute. So you try to put him at the level of the champion, but the champion should be getting some dominating wins now.
Yeah, and this was competitive.
And that's not a shot at Dante, but it's just like, let this happen after Page has finally got some dominating title defenses.
Thank you.
Then you can put Dante over, and I got no problem
I've just asked for some more consistent booking of your world fucking champion.
This is why I say Roman Reigns is probably the best booked champion in pro wrestling. Because he just feels like a guy who's a champion in a wrestling promotion.
Moxley and Danielson had a fairly decent tag
match was really, really fun.
Yep.
The promo by William was so good. Really emotional.
So happy to see. Pac faced Wheeler Yuta. I don't know why.
Good match.
Yeah, it was a good match. But
this is the thing about AEW, though. I will never hate them for just giving me a match.
That's fair.
That's good.
That's fair.
As a pro wrestling fan, I'm okay with that.
The emergency board meeting of the HFO.
Why?
I need an HMO because God, do I need surgery after this to remove it from my brainstem.
Funny enough, I actually like this.
It was just...
And I think Jeff might have put it over the top.
Yeah.
Because seriously, when he came out, so I heard the music, and then
I wanted to...
And then
he's actually dancing. They switched the camera.
Jim gave it away because Jim on commentary said, like, well, he's got to go save his brother. I don't know what he's doing his entrance for. And I'm like, I think Jeff is dancing right now. So when the video came out, I died.
Yeah,
I'm like, thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Jeff.
Like, come on, dance. Yeah, you're the ass kick. I'm going to come save you now.
He's like, oh, shit, that's right. I got to save my brother. It was great. But, yeah.
We forgot to even mention, because it's coming up next. Go ahead and finish up.
Oh, no, I was just going to say, otherwise, I really enjoyed this.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, turning Isaiah and Weston face at this point is weird.
Yeah.
So, and Andrade can lead a heel faction just fine. So.
Now, we forgot to mention that Wardlow played a big part in that match.
Yes.
At because of the Diamond Ring.
Yeah.
But Wardlow spoke. Like I said, I think he's cleaned up whatever green was in him. I think he's a credible guy.
Oh, yeah.
I think there's a lot to this guy. And it's weird for me because of how I've been criticizing their bookings.
Right.
I'm interested in Wardlow.
Absolutely.
We'll see if Tony pulls the correct trigger, but I'm interested in Wardlow right
Once
now.
Again,
I am.
Looks like a star.
And by the way, on the plus side, he's probably going to squash your boy Scorpio Sky.
But he's not going to win the title.
That's the sad part.
MJF and West Ham are going to cost him. You know what? The best segment was the shortest segment. So backstage, they had a segment with FTR talking about Redragon and the Bucks.
Yeah.
And they fired Tully.
Yep.
But then they cut away from it super quick.
But Jesse, every FTR segment gets cut right when you start to get interested in it. They cut it.
I'm like, it was so funny because even JR said, wait, go back. Like, what? Did they just fire Tully? Like, that's huge. Are they no longer a part of the faction? Like,
yeah.
Like, why would you guys just cut from that? That's a huge moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was incredible.
We had, once again, defending the titles directly after a pay-per-view, Jungle Express, Jurassic Express, facing the Acclaimed. Oh, yeah, by the way, let's just forget the fact that the Acclaimed have made a Duke Lacrosse joke live on television. Boy, I'm sure that the new TV executives at Discovery are going to love to know that was a thing that happened.
I promise you, they're going to be so watered down, it's not even going to seem like the same.
Tony's not going to be going over their promos with them anymore because they're going to be pre-written.
They're going to they're going to be strictly a dark and elevation team pretty soon.
Oh yeah, because Discovery's going to be like, why did you ever allow this to happen? And by the way, Tony's going to have to answer a lot of those questions real quick.
He's going to have to answer to executives, and he's already starting to.
Yeah. Because, again, we told you, folks, don't be looking for that Briscoe match anytime soon on any platform. And by the way, for those of you who are like, well, they'll do it on YouTube. First of all, we learned with Minoru Suzuki, waste. Second of all,
I agree.
Second of all, I don't care if it's on YouTube. This company wants nothing to do with the Briscoes, and if you do it, the TV executives are going to go to Tony and be like, why are you having any affiliation with this team?
Because right now they don't want them on their TV.
They want them. They want nothing. Like, here's the deal. They not only control your TBS tapings and your TNT tapings, they will control Dark and Dark Elevation.
Because they're also paying for the show.
Yeah.
Yep.
We had, like I said, Layla Hirsch and Thunder Rosa was, they hated it, but it was a decent match.
Yeah, no, I thought it was decent.
And then we get to the point, Jesse. Out of everything that's happened, I have wanted to talk to you for 4 days now. The man you had no business in caring about anymore in AEW has finally reached his championship potential. He's one championship away from a Triple Crown. Jesse Scorpio Sky is the new TNT champion. I give you the mic, sir.
This is incredulously fucking stupid, Leroy.
Yeah, I agree with you.
So because you got called out for your bullshit, you're going to put the title on the man. Instead of when he deserved to be champion. You know, when he should have beat Cody a year ago. But now he's going to be champion. This is bullshit. And here's the worst part. When they take the title off of him in about a month, I promise you, she's still going to look correct in the long run.
Jesse.
There you go.
Jesse, she's right in the long run no matter what. We know that for a fact. The fact that Tony fucking said anything about it, saying, well, look at all this diversity I have as a champion. So let me get this straight. we're going to use the brown people line again, just in a once again turnaround shady way.
I have a black friend is basically what he did. Listen, man, it's fine. It looks great, and TBS now and TNT can promote. Hey, we have our champions. Like they've been proudly like promoting and I'm cool with that.
Yeah,
I'm cool with that. I have no problem with that.
Yeah.
But what happens when Tony takes that shit off of him in a month? I'm just saying.
Like I said, I think Wardlow gonna make him look like a bitch.
I mean, Wardlow's gonna fuck him up next week. But Wardlow, like I said, Wardlow's not gonna win because I'm listening to that excellent Wardlow promo, and I'm like,
MJF's gonna do something.
I'm like, MJF's gonna cost you, son.
All right, so now the shit sandwich is done. We're gonna move on, folks. Again, 4 out of 5 average for the pay-per-view between you and me.
Yeah.
It was a good pay-per-view. Your follow-up had a lot to be desired.
This is basically Raw after Mania the last 2 years. It wasn't good.
It was so bad.
It was so bad.
All right, we had a challenge last week that this week we can't wait to see, but we have a new wrinkle for you guys. A couple of our buddies have sent us their entries.
Yes.
It is the top 5 Eddie Guerrero Dream Match segment. Which Leroy conveniently did not put on our topic, so we're at 13.
Oh, no, I did not know that was there. I did not know.
Did you not listen to the show last week?
I listened to most of it. No, I missed that.
Okay.
There's so much going on.
We
no,
have
I'm sorry.
Cal's. We're just going to dive right into it. Now, the rules were this. Any era, any wrestler, any company versus Eddie Guerrero, and both were in their primes.
Right.
Ooh.
Cal sent us Eddie versus Owen Hart. Yep. Which, by the way, was going to happen if Owen didn't pass away.
Right.
Yes, that was in the works, yes.
Eddie versus HBK. They were always on separate shows.
Yeah.
Eddie versus Seth Rollins.
Oh, my God.
Got to go find that PWG. No, Ring of Honor.
Ring of Honor? Okay.
Was amazing.
Eddie versus AJ. I mean, how do you get better than that?
That was PWG. And that was when AJ was in New Japan.
Right.
That match... For only 300 people being in that high school gym, I'm like, you put that in front of 50,000. You sell a pay-per-view.
You definitely do.
I don't believe the rule was set in stone that it had to be a match that Eddie hadn't already had. No. We never said that.
But
it's just
it was just when Cal sent that, I'm like, yeah, I remember that match.
And finally, first of all, he had an honorable mention. Los Guerreros in a triple threat with the Usos and New Day. Oh my motherfucking God! What would have happened?
That would have been. Oh my God.
And then of course,
who would have cheated better?
Yeah, right. And then of course, his number one. How do you outdo this? Eddie versus the American Dragon in their primes. I just
listen.
What else do you do?
Like we did get it in Ring of Honor. It was really good, but Brian was really young back then.
But that's what I'm saying. This version of the American Dragon with 15, 20 years experience versus the Eddie Guerrero.
By the way, you can actually find the AJ Styles Eddie match.
Is that on New Japan Strong?
No, because he was in New Japan, but that match I think that was either for PWG or Ring of Honor.
Okay, all right.
But so you can just straight up find it on YouTube.
Okay.
So fucking good.
Okay, so that was Cal. I've got Marcus's.
All right.
Marcus had Eddie versus Seth. Edge versus Eddie for the WWE title ladder match at Wrestle Mania.
Ooh.
That would have been huge. He had Eddie versus... Okay. A lot of these are the same because, we all...
Right.
Eddie versus Owen. It was going to happen. We all wanted it to happen.
Right.
So sad it didn't.
Right.
Eddie versus AJ, of course. Eddie versus Demon Finn.
First of all, your lady would have loved that.
Oh, yes.
Second of all, you want to talk about just 5-star potential on a level like... You like Eddie versus Demon Finn because Finn as the demon just goes all in.
Yes,
and so I what a great list that was.
The Professor is next. Gene.
Yes,
he had Danielson, AJ. Now we get into your world, Jesse. He's got Pac.
Oh my God.
Okada and Misawa.
When I saw Gene's list,
you almost cried. There was a tear in your eye.
Well, I came because when he put Misawa, and I'm like, bro, Eddie and Misawa. Now, unfortunately, Eddie and Misawa in the primes, of course, never got the chance to wrestle because Misawa was the king of New Japan. And, of course, Eddie was was becoming a straight up legend in WCW.
AB's got Bryan Danielson.
Eddie versus Okada, though.
Yeah, okay, all right. Let's talk about that.
I mean, just the charisma of the two dudes.
Oh, God. And by the way, all natural charisma.
Yes.
There's no gimmicks to those two. It's all
You would have laughed. You would have cried. He would have kicked out of a Rainmaker because everybody does.
AB.
All right, let's go.
Aaron Bowles McMahon. Obviously, Bryan Danielson.
Yes.
Kyle O'Reilly. Not cool Kyle, but maybe Kyle O'Reilly.
Just old school, probably.
Seth is on everyone's.
Because Seth is one of the best in the world.
Eddie, honestly, Eddie versus Sasha, we didn't give a gender rule. I think Eddie versus Sasha Banks might be an interesting contest.
Before you get to his last one, let me say why I love this, and there's something I'm going to say, and we are an hour and 50 minutes in, and I want us to clip this clip.
Okay.
Sasha, and I'm going to tweet this to her from our thing.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So I was watching the tag match on replay.
Okay.
And then I went
from
back.
SmackDown?
Yeah,
okay.
and so I went back, and then I found the footage of one of the last singles matches she had with Charlotte before she got hurt.
Yeah.
Sasha, you've done it. In ring, you reached Eddie. She's so good. So I'm watching the tag match.
Yeah.
And it doesn't dawn on you sometimes how great someone's become until like after the match you're like, man, that was really fun. And then I was starting to like think about it, and then Pat said something and it put me over the top. Pat said, I've never seen Sasha have a bad match. I'm like, fuck, Sasha has never had a bad match that I can think of.
No.
And then he went, Sasha's just a world championship caliber wrestler, and I don't know how you, Carmella, and Zelina are going to beat those two. And I went, yeah, she's a legendary women's championship caliber wrestler.
She's reached Eddie territory.
I'm like, she's actually reached Eddie territory.
Yeah. And the last one, this would just be fun because of the personalities. Eddie versus Montez Ford.
Give me that match.
just
give me that match all day.
Oh.
Put them on Raw.
Yep.
You have an hour to close.
Yep.
You're gonna be entertained.
It's gonna be so good. Now we get to the list.
Go ahead.
There's one because I agree with a lot of those.
Yeah.
One I would like to see.
Before we get to that, we have one more list.
One I would add for myself because I agree with a lot of them. Seth and Eddie and enough.
Yeah.
Davey Boy back in Japan against Eddie Guerrero. I think that would have been a wonderful match. Especially in his time in Japan and stuff.
Yeah.
And when he was a prime like that. Him in Tiger Mask.
Yeah.
That would have been wonderful.
Dynamite Kid, you mean?
Yeah, Dynamite David. Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
How do you like that one?
Kid.
Dynamite Kid.
It's crazy that their paths never intersected back in the day.
Now, this is the list that I think Jesse's really going to have some thoughts on.
My man Thomas.
Bugs got Mizawa, Rollins. Rollins and Danielson are just there. I mean, like, end of conversation. That's got to be on your list.
Yeah.
Miyahara,
which Jesse will explain here in a second.
So Miyahara is a multiple time, I believe, All Japan World Wrestling Wrestling Heavyweight Champion.
Okay.
Think of Miyahara as a hybrid of Perry Saturn, Chris Benoit.
Okay.
And then, like Misawa, he kind of had a little bit of Eddie of Ray's energy as a flyer.
Okay. All right.
Miyahara was a dude.
And now the one that I want to see, and this might, and I didn't think about it, but I think it tossed my list.
Is a dude.
Yeah. I should toss my list. 70s Jerry the King Lawler versus Eddie Guerrero at his prime.
Bruh.
People don't realize in the 70s, Jerry Lawler was...
I didn't think about that one.
He was the king.
Wow.
He was on a whole nother level.
He's still on a whole nother level.
Well, yes.
Just being able to wrestle now.
But, I mean, back then, though...
Jerry Lawler was...
He held, anytime he held the title back then, it was just like, oh, yeah. Have you watched the match?
There was never a question. There was never a question.
Like, so when WWE hired him to be a color commentator, apparently I was told back in the 90s that was a shocking move.
Yeah.
Because they were like, color commentator, like, Jerry Lawler probably has forgotten more wrestling in his big toe than most guys know.
Yeah.
And so for that to work out for so long for Vince was a great grab for Vince for so many years.
Okay, so my top 5.
Yeah.
In no particular order. Rollins, American Dragon, Styles. I mean, they have to be there.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to get a little gimmicky.
Okay.
If I may.
Okay.
This is a dream only because I don't know what would happen.
Okay.
I want to see Eddie Prime versus himself because, good Lord, what would happen?
Yeah.
And now for the one that's going to shock you both. Might want to back up for the mics, boys.
Okay.
I want to see Eddie Guerrero versus Kenny Omega.
That's not a shock to me.
Give me Eddie Guerrero versus Kenny Omega.
That's not a shock to me.
Eddie's gonna get something out of him.
Kenny's on my list.
Okay, all right, yeah.
I agree with you there. Yeah.
As I said, I hope when he comes back from injury, we see what I know he's capable of.
Honorable mention, but I think it might be egregious that I didn't put it up there. Eddie versus Jushin.
Ooh. Now we did get that in WCW. I believe we did.
But here's the deal.
So.
But here's the deal. You take that match, you put it on a show where they're not handicapped by the fact it was WCW and they didn't care about the Cruiserweight division. I mean, Jesse, those guys are gonna.
So my list, actually, I don't have Rollins on my list, but when I saw Rollins get brought up, I'm like, I get it.
Oh yeah, no, I get it.
So AJ, so I got AJ. I got my man Okada because it's just like, for real, like the emotional, not just forget just the technicality, the emotions those two are going to drive out of you if they're given half an hour.
Yeah.
And New Japan's like, you know what? We're just going to put this on free American television for the Americans, and we'll just make the money from you later.
Yeah.
Like, forget about it. It sells. It sells out. Like, it's done. I mean, listen.
Are you
definitely?
Are you?
Go ahead.
Is your whole list Japan?
No, definitely Danielson.
Yep.
My man Will Ospreay.
Oh God! What he and Will could do in a half hour.
As I tell people, you want to see one of the craziest matches of all time? Go watch Will Ospreay.
She got it. She got it.
Yeah. Ricochet's a great honorable
mention.
Yeah,
I was going to say, Will Ospreay versus Ricochet is one of the greatest matches I've ever seen. He's honorable mention for me, Ricochet.
Yeah.
I'm glad he's finally getting the push he's getting now.
Oh, yes. I'm so happy about
my
that.
last one is Eddie versus Roman. Think if Eddie could return.
I was thinking about it.
This Roman Reigns.
I was thinking about it.
My goodness.
Because the problem is that and I can't believe I'm saying the words underrated and Eddie Guerrero in the same sense. But the underrated ability of Eddie Guerrero was you couldn't play mind games with Eddie because in match he played so many himself.
Right.
In match he was just.
And I mean, like, think about like all the times like Roman was like talking trash. Eddie was gonna give it right back. So like, I'm like, dude.
And now over to Leroy.
What?
Do you have a top 5?
Dreams.
Do you have a top 5?
All the ones you all the ones that you did, I can.
They've already been mentioned. Oh,
they did. I got one. I was, as you guys thinking about it, and I was doing it. Would be interesting.
Yeah.
Good old Harley race.
Ah.
You know, that would be a good.
Jesse, you and I had the argument sort of that high flyer or technical, but Eddie could do both. So I mean, and Eddie and Harley could go.
And the one other one I would put in there would be interesting. I don't think did he wrestle with Mr. Perfect at all? I think
on Nitro once.
Yeah,
probably wasn't worth the two's time.
Yeah,
yeah. But I would also put there Rick Rude in his prime.
Okay,
would have been
fun. My goodness,
that'd be great.
People forget how great Rick Rude really was.
I mean, I grew up watching him. And
Jesse,
Rick Rude was wonderful. I mean, that's what I get.
I'm going to give you two guys, and I'm going to put them in a triple threat with Eddie. Well, first of all, Kushida versus Eddie.
Oh, God.
Need I say more? Imagine this triple threat, and I'm serious. Give this 20 minutes to stew. Eddie, our boy Cameron Grimes, and Yano.
Oh wow!
The entertainment value of that match would be.
This is the best. That would be the best sports entertainment match you could ever have.
That would be. Oh my god!
It'd be
those three trying to out cheat each other and shit. Just get like the laughs at themselves of Eddie slamming a chair on the ground, Yano going, "Not me, him! Not me, him! Not me, him!" And the camera guys go, "No, you two!" Like I just forget about it.
There we go.
You'd be dying in tears.
You know what? As I thought about Cameron, because first of all, we all know Eddie arguably might be the greatest in-ring talent that ever lived because there wasn't anything he couldn't do.
Right.
But you know what would be super interesting?
Mm-hmm.
Now, obviously, there's the obviousness of Gargano versus Eddie.
Right.
Eddie versus, and I'm not joking, the man who beat up Gargano to leave NXT.
Maybe.
Maybe. That snotty little attitude in the ring with Eddie, realizing I ain't about to get one over on Eddie Guerrero?
Grayson Waller would be pretty good, but maybe. I will give Grayson Waller this. He's got like a newer like Randy Orton effect to him.
You know, it's interesting. I'm seeing so much comparisons to him and myself, not the internet. But no one's putting him in Randy's category because they can't get over what Randy's become. But early Randy, very similar to what Grayson is now.
Snot-nosed kid.
I'm not giving him that level of expectation.
Right.
But there's a lot there.
Right, snot-nosed kid. I know a lot of people who really started to see the greatness in Randy was the over cold calculating Randy when he came back as a Viper.
Yeah.
But kicking people in the skull and shit.
How excited are you? Whether you watch it on repeat or you watch it live this Wednesday, how excited are you for Kushida versus A-Kid?
Oh, this Tuesday? Listen.
This Tuesday, yeah.
Just give them half an hour. Let them go work.
I feel bad for the ref that has to call it because how the hell are you going to keep up?
Number one, it needs the main event.
Can we call Red Shoes and just be like, can you do this for like one night?
You know what? Jessica does a really good job. Tell Jessica to come back down.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
Jessica, you take care of this. Neither one of these guys are heels, so they're not going to do anything dirty anyway. No. Just stay out the way.
Yep.
If you start seeing them run, just go hide in a corner.
Yeah.
Let these two work. Dude, this match, A-Kid and Kushida, is going to be insane. If you're not watching NXT 2.0, it's because you don't want to. Because you can catch the replays on Peacock and Hulu. Oh, my goodness. Kushida versus A-Kid is going to be insane.
And for those of you who don't know who he is, watch NXT UK. You have no excuses.
As I tell people, if you really want to see the best version of AEW, go watch fucking NXT UK.
They're doing some great work.
It's the best version of AEW. We're not kidding.
Watch all the three NXTs that they got going.
So it's NXT 2.0.
Yep.
NXT UK. They were working on NXT Japan, but that got scrapped. So it's basically two of them.
Yep.
Well, no, and then the Rise Up, the new NXT.
Oh, but that's a part of 2.0 though.
Level up.
Yeah, it level up. It's them three shows. Watch them because
now Roadblock happened.
Yes.
NXT put on a hell of a show. We're going to run through this pretty quick, but god dang, was it another good show in the middle.
Yeah.
And
another
it was
banger.
probably the most shocking in-ring moment of the entire week.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which, by the way, we're going to discuss how we feel about it. People forget what NXT used to be, but no one watched it then, so they don't get to talk.
All
but
right.
anyway, Roadblock, what do we got?
All right, first one was the semifinals of the Dusty Cup for the tag for the ladies. We have Dakota Kai and Wendy Chu defeating Cora Jade and Raquel Gonzalez.
Jesse. This is our team, you and me.
This is
our team.
They're in the finals,
my friend.
They're the best.
And they're so good together.
They're really good
Dakota
together.
and Wendy Chu
Why
are
does this
in the
work?
finals.
Jesse, help me out. Why does this work?
I think it's because of the different contrasting styles. Dakota just absolutely crazy, and Wendy just so nonchalant.
That's so
Yeah,
good.
the moments where Raquel was there and she wanted to do it, and she's like, "No, I can't," and fighting with herself, finally doing it. Wonderful. My God,
So
I
good.
This
loved it.
team again, it's another team that was smashed together for the Dusty
Right,
Classic.
right.
But god damn, does it work? This is our sentimental favorite team right now. It is.
I mean, I've loved Wendy Q since she was Susie Q for a long time.
It's a good classic song.
Because she's just an incredible performer. Also, I want to give a shout out to Lady Frost doing big things in Impact right now.
Yeah.
I believe we'll be doing a match for MAW.
Oh, she did.
And I hope to go see her.
We saw her live at Turtle Lake.
Nice.
We saw her. Oh yeah.
I hope to not
her and Sierra.
Yeah.
Great match with the two.
Lady
Great
Frost
match.
has been on a fucking major role.
She has.
But yeah, listen.
This team. I
wish I could wrestle in a onesie.
Right?
I don't even look good in a onesie like she does, but I wish I can wrestle in one. That's
right?
Well, you probably could. You wouldn't look good, but you could have one.
She definitely has more athleticism than I do.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
right.
What else?
Number 2, Fallon Henley defeated Tiffany Stratton.
With a little bit of help from, is Saray heel?
No, I think Saray is just trying to get her face heat back from the fact that Tiffany is insulting the grandmother emblem that is around. So, yeah.
I do like, I watched
once again
Tiffany on Level Up. I mean,
Tiffany's getting some shine.
She's
I'm half
good.
and half on the character.
I know you are. I know.
But I'm not worried about the character. I love her performance in the ring. Great performance in the ring.
It's a nice opening theme song to a throwback punk type vibe.
True.
I like that.
But I'm still half and half. But I will say this. You know what's really cool? Sometimes that WWE does that. You know, somebody else says they like to take shots at WWE all the time. What a nice way to put over a young talent that used to be a jobber in AEW.
Hasn't that happened about 2 or 3 times already?
I think it
Cora
has.
Jade's basically in the main event picture of the women's division.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
And she was a flame out.
Fallon Henley was known as Tasha Price in AEW.
Yes.
Okay.
Her actual wrestling name in the Indies.
Yeah.
And she was basically a jobber. And to see her get shine like this, as good as she's been, has been really cool. And yeah, it was a distraction finish for the win, but I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
It still puts over Henley, because she still was competitive in the match.
Yes.
So it puts Henley over as a smart competitor who took advantage of a situation. I think that's brilliant, and I very well done. Very well done.
I just thought about this. Jesse, I hate to say it. I got a top 5 for you next week.
Okay.
5 women in WWE, not of the top tier women.
Okay.
So basically think where Rhea Ripley is now up.
Okay.
Eliminate that.
Okay.
5 women who are more over than Britt Baker.
Ooh. Well, that's not fair because I could do more than 5, but yeah.
If you want to do more than 5, you can do more than 5, but...
You know what? Write that down, and then I'm going to try to write it down off of your page here. So, yeah, okay, so top 5.
I got to mark that down. I will
top
put this
5
down.
women in WWE who are more over than Britt Baker in AEW, but we're going to eliminate basically the top tier of the women's division in WWE.
Yeah, because it wouldn't be fair.
Yeah. Because obviously we know that Rhea Ripley is clearly more over than Britt Baker.
Well, Rhea Ripley is clearly a mean event.
Bayley's more over, and Bayley's been out for a year. So
she'll be back though.
Yeah, shit.
Well, see, it's fun.
This Raw after WrestleMania might be a good one.
See,
there's potential there.
My son Alexa Bliss was his. Rhea's taken over. He really likes Rhea Ripley now. More than
I don't know
Alexa.
why we're calling her Bayley. We should call her Thickly. Oh my God. So she posted a workout. I'm going to simp today. So she had posted a workout video, which showed me how she was a bit further along than I thought she was, which is awesome to see.
Yeah.
And like, she was, and then she did a video where she was like watching Vince talk about Michael Cole, which I thought was fucking hilarious.
That what he said about Michael Cole.
Yeah, which was great.
Horrible human being.
He's a horrible human being. But she kind of gets up to go like lift her dog and eat the popcorn and stuff, and I'm like, damn!
Oh yeah, she always did a good.
Jesse just wants a match: Bayley versus Nikita Lyons. That's all I'm saying.
Oh yes, I will be the mat. I will be the ring mat.
Yes.
They don't even have to. I mean, they're gonna both keep kicking out at 2, and that's okay. I win in the end.
Yes.
That's.
So next week, Jesse, you say
that'll
be easy,
be dangerous. My God!
But I'm really gonna need you to sort of explain why they're more over, because everyone's gonna say she's the longest reigning women's champion on television. Well, we'll get to that.
I swear to God, if Lacey Evans comes back and is more over than Britt Baker, then they have failed Britt Baker.
Yes.
She probably will be.
She probably will be. Anyway, Leroy, what else you got?
Next one, good old last man standing match where Grayson Waller defeated LA Knight with a little help from his buddy.
The ending. Holy shit, it worked.
I saw that.
Holy hell, they did something.
It was really good.
Unbelievable. I'm going to have to give the Bucktooth people credit. There were very few the camera was done well.
Right.
Yes.
The fact that Grayson fell and then all of a sudden he's walking with the guy, I'm like, okay, you didn't show it to me.
Right.
I get it.
Right.
Well, I was wondering too.
The fucking ending.
I was wondering that too. I was like, where did he go? And all of a sudden he caught him. Okay, that explains a few things.
Though, to just
and
by the way, in just the ending, Grayson Waller did more selling than the Bucks done have in 17 years.
Yes, it's like, I was thinking they're not going to do a double count out. No. And all of a sudden he gets on him and he stands up. I'm like, oh, geez,
he was on.
That's
and Jesse,
oh my god,
Jesse. This is why I think the kid is special. He pulled off the tippy toe look. Go back and watch the shadow of his feet.
It was
there
tippy
was
toes.
no foot down.
No,
that was his fucking big toe.
That was his toes.
This kid is hitting all the boxes, and I don't know why this is the breakout star right now from the heels, but he is.
Excellent. He's excellent.
This kid,
like
man.
I said, he's got young Randy Orton vibes to him.
Yeah.
I would like to see a bit more technicality pushed into it, but he's 25. He'll grow into it.
Yeah, they give him a little bit of work down there, and then he can be up in the main.
But
definitely.
He's got Randy Orton potential if he wants it.
Yeah.
It's there. It's there. I have nothing more to add than what you guys say. I thought this was phenomenal.
This was so... And by the way, folks... In my opinion, whether it's after WrestleMania or it's by summer,
they better not change his name when he gets called up, Grayson, LA Knight, because I swear to God,
when
he comes
LA
up,
Knight.
It's Eli Drake though,
and his name is Big Man Big, I'm gonna lose my shit. I'm gonna go to Connecticut and I'm getting arrested.
Yeah, okay.
Stop changing their names. It's not necessary. They've already changed their names for you.
That's fair.
Okay, you have a problem with Butch?
We'll get to that.
We'll talk about that later.
We'll get to that. What's else on?
I do have that on here. So
Leroy's trying to piss me off today.
Normally it's me.
It's working.
I love you, my brother.
I love you too.
Normally it's me.
All right.
All right. What else
the next one is the other 75s for the women. So we have our 2 for the finals. Io, our lovely, I love you.
Io
and Kaylee defeated Casey Karen. They had to go. They always get these.
They
these
always
two.
Get beat.
They get so
Casey
close.
and Kaden. They get so close, but
they get so close.
But can I just say
they got
this? This is the type
wonderful
of match where even Allison takes 5 seconds and goes, "I don't think there's anyone better in the world in a women's division. You're not allowed to use Io anymore because that's just obvious. There's If you question if Io Shirai is more over than Britt Baker, you're not watching women's wrestling.
There's nothing more to say about Io. I mean, I like Sasha might have finally reached her hero.
Yeah.
But Io's been a legend for a long time.
She's
been a legend in this game for a long time.
And she's still going.
And she's not 30 yet.
Everything was picture perfect. Sure.
Wonderful match.
Interestingly enough, and this is not a racist thing, for an Asian competitor, the facials are off the charts.
Oh, great,
God, yes.
It's incredible what she's able to accomplish.
She should go give some of her wrestling lessons to her husband, so I don't have to watch that bullshit that is Torture Club anymore.
You've been saying that for a while.
But that's a different story. I might have
Jesse's
heart this week alive.
Jesse's hard in New Japan. I have to bring it up after NXT, but Jesse's had a rough week in New Japan. What else we got, Jay?
So with that, we do have the final, which is going to be at Stand and Deliver.
Yeah,
it's going to be good.
Dakota Kai, Wendy Cho, and Io and
it's gonna be good.
Kaylee. I mean, who do we got? Who do you think?
It's
or we got time? We can think about it to see who we think.
We'll think about it next week when Eric's here. We'll make that.
I think that'll be a great match.
Yeah. What was next?
All right,
Jesse,
next.
You know what? They might put it on Wendy Chu and Dakota Kai.
That's true.
I'll have to think about that. I would be good. It'd be fun.
All right, what else we got?
Then we have the tag team match because of the boys from Diamond Mine could not compete. So
was there an injury to either Creed brother? Is that why they did
no,
this?
they just beat him up outside.
That was
no confirmation.
That
of
was
injury,
it was an injury angle that they did with them.
I just thought it was weird.
So the MSK came up to challenge Imperium, and Imperium did beat MSK.
I did investigation
in a no
Leroy.
contest. Yes.
I did deep investigation.
Yes, he did.
I found nothing. No one's found anything. So if one of them actually does have an injury, they're not talking about it.
Okay.
But yeah, so because I'm like, they did the beatdown.
To be fair though, maybe Jesse, this is your favorite booking team, Funky Love.
Oh,
maybe just maybe either they figured
they're
it out.
definitely never winning Booker of the Year.
That's fair.
No.
Maybe Jesse, maybe they figured it out, or maybe someone higher than them figured it out. Maybe this is the match you want at Stand and Deliver, is the Creed Brothers versus
I think that would be.
Maybe this was the way to get it to Stand and Deliver.
I think
now, again,
that'd be good.
Was it cheap and stupid? I'm not taking that away.
Right.
2 70-year-olds fucked up the whole thing. I'm not going to deny it. But my point is this.
Doesn't that always happen?
Maybe just maybe the run to the Dusty Cup made them realize we got to put this on Stand and Deliver because the Creeds are over.
Well, the Creeds are over for sure.
The one team no one thought was going to get over was the Creeds.
Well,
and MSK can step in and have a great match.
Well,
clearly.
Yes.
Them winning the cup, I thought should have just guaranteed that the match happens at a pay-per-view. I thought it was weird when they tried to originally announce it. Maybe they always wanted to do MSK and Imperium one more time.
Yeah.
Probably.
That's not a bad idea. But I Stand and Deliver, I think would be great.
Yeah.
Imperium and the Creed Brothers at that.
Right.
That'll be a hell of a way to
And you know what?
I agree.
And you know what? If it
start
is
the
what I
weekend
just
off
said,
of WrestleMania with that, yes.
If it is what I just said, Jesse will have to give some credit to the Funky Love boys.
All right.
I don't want to.
Don't
you ever force me to give
I
them
will
love.
not.
We will not. Never. I will never do that to you.
I must go to prison.
He
first
might,
before I give them love.
but I won't.
Thank you.
You're the one trying to piss him off today. Don't look at me.
I'm trying to deflect. I'm smart.
You're really bad at it. You're really bad at it.
Well, because I kind of said I did, so I'm getting better
exactly.
I'm getting better with age.
What was up next?
Smarter than you. This was the triple threat for the NXT with Dolph, Tommaso, and Braun Breaker. With Dolph winning.
I said it in the lounge. Nobody wanted to believe me. I was told to slow down. They're calling Braun Breaker up. He's up.
Rumor is that yes,
he's up. They want him.
I didn't see this coming.
No one did.
I didn't think it would be this.
No one fucking did.
I didn't think it would be this early.
Oh, I knew that it was going to be early because they loved him so much, but I didn't think they'd put it on Dolph. I thought they were going to give Tommaso one more run.
I gotta be 1,000. Well, I'm pretty sure Tommaso's completely called up.
Yes,
but
that's been
roadblock. I loved it.
It was a great show.
This was the first time pro wrestling had my jaw open since John Cena returned.
Yeah.
One, because I literally didn't see that coming.
No, I did not see it either, man. I was like, wow.
I mean, John Cena's always a threat enough where you're like, this motherfucker might win, take this championship to Hollywood and not be back for a couple months. It's very possible.
Yeah.
But yeah, when Dolph won, I literally was like, what?
You were not alone on that one.
The whole world went what?
No, some people got mad, which I didn't understand.
There was some anger.
There's a lot of anger.
There's a lot. The picture of Bayley with a cup, Dolph winning, she's sipping. People mad. She's going, what? Why?
But I was literally like, what? Dolph? I'm like, well, I guess I got to do something with him.
Well, yeah.
That tag team ain't getting no fucking title shot no time soon.
No.
They are former SmackDown champions, but they're not.
Yeah, the Dirty Dogs.
Yeah, but yeah, awesome ending, man. Well, and to be fair, Tommaso and Braun are gone now.
Yeah.
So now you actually have to start building a new baby face.
Well, but here's the thing. He's been called the Shawn Michaels of this era for a lot of reasons.
Von Wagner is fucking terrible.
Yeah.
They cannot convince. They can't. Von Wagner could come out with his weird ass fucking speech and go, "This is a pen. I'm gonna beat up this pen," and I'd be like, "The pen is gonna whoop his ass." Like he can't sell me on anything.
Yeah.
And they put a great guy with him to help him.
Yeah.
They changed the gear. Thank God, because the old gear basically was like doo-doo brown and then black. I don't know what they tried to throw on him.
It was Shawn Michaels from the Elimination Chamber.
Like, it was horrible.
What was this and why was it put together?
Why did that happen?
Yeah.
But yeah, I like Von Wagner is terrible. But then I'm sitting there and I'm thinking of all the babyfaces. I'm like, well, Pete Dunne's gone now.
Yep.
Butch.
Stop, Leroy.
I know, it's fucked up.
Heel.
I was watching
When you get the spray bottle for your cat for you?
When I was watching SmackDown, I'm like, all of a sudden they're talking about, I'm like, huh? And I looked, I'm like, what?
Let's deal with this right now.
What the heck?
Let's deal with this right. You might as well take off the headphones.
They were talking about kind of the NXT call-ups that are going. The
Shut up, Leroy. Call-ups. Shut up, Leroy.
I will murder 2 70-years-olds if they cannot get it together.
I agree.
You did not need to change his name. He is set up. He can still look like Oliver Twist for no fucking reason. That's fine. Who cares? They got Sheamus looks ridiculous. Rich Holland looks ridiculous. It's fine. I don't even care about that.
I don't think Sheamus looks ridiculous.
Sheamus looks stupid.
Allison doesn't think he looks ridiculous.
Okay, all right.
Reasons for that.
Well, that's because she's hot for Irishmen.
She is. She is.
But
yeah, I don't understand his outfit.
But really.
All you had to do was call him the Butcher Pete Dunne, and he was still that Pete.
Just be done with it.
Yeah, just be done.
The
with it.
Butcher Pete Dunne. Okay, cool. Whatever. Done with it.
Yeah.
What do we do? What? Dude, why do these old ass men? You know what? I'm gonna compare WWE to MAW again.
Okay.
Because I keep seeing MAW do stuff right that WWE gets wrong. Eli is not a young spry man.
Nope.
No.
Great man. Love you, Eli.
Yep, we do.
God, I love you, Eli. Yes.
But he's not a young spry man anymore.
No.
I have yet to see him put his young talent in these situations. If people know them from the South as the name that they're known by, even if they change the gimmick a little bit when they come up north, they still let them keep the name. Mm-hmm. It's just smart.
Yeah.
In the WWE, you developed them by the name. You gave them a brand. And then when you bring them up, you go, we don't like what we did. You changed it! You already changed Pete Dunne's character in NXT 2.0. So what was the point of changing his name?
Just keep him as the bruiserweight.
Cal, the next time you try to convince me that this imbecile who believes everything is an attraction, if it's not an attraction, then I can't sell it to Vince. Okay, and if we don't get the internet angry, and if fucking people power are decent bookers, I swear, Cal, you're going to run. You're going to lose so much weight because I'm going to hunt you down. You cannot convince me that these guys are good bookers in any way. And listening to Vince, I am more than convinced he needs to fire these clowns. Oh, my God.
But see, after SmackDown, I'm looking at it, too. I was like, they did this.
I'm about to pull something that's never been done in the history of this show, ladies and gentlemen.
Braun Breaker is coming up.
I never threatened a fan of the show.
No, Leroy, you go ahead and finish, but I'm about to pull something off that might make Jesse even more angry. But go ahead, Leroy.
But I'm trying to think, are they going to change Braun's name? I really hope not.
They do it. I swear. You don't understand.
I know. I'm not going to be happy.
Jesse's going to go live if that happens.
They don't need to change his name. If they change it back to Steiner,
I will be in an airplane live warning WWE headquarters. I'm on the way.
But if they bring back the Steiner name, I'm okay with that.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Anything else? Why?
Well, I'm about to do something that's never happened in the history of the show. Hey, Jesse,
do you think he's going to be on Raw?
Jesse, so you're saying,
probably.
So you're saying you're a little hot. You could use a different kind of maybe darker entertainment, and we need new clothes for Pete Dunne.
Yes. Thank you.
Well,
I think
folks,
we do.
Well, folks, he's hot because of that Haitian heat hot sauce.
I love you because I need to get off a Butch.
The Dark Arts Entertainment has a wonderful, different kind of hybrid pro wrestling style, and we need some new clothes for our boy Butch from Handmade Mama LLC. Jesse, I got all 3 in one. You feel a little better after that?
A little bit better.
So if we're in Vegas, we'll get some new clothes, bring some hot sauce.
Well, yeah, we'll get some hot sauce.
And go see Funny Bone and watch some damn good wrestling.
Store folks, the store's up for Handmade Mama. Wonderful product, as we always say. And Dark Arts Entertainment, Jesse, the app is once again still, I want to point out.
Technology
we're not going
is
to talk
great.
about the technology issues. We're going to talk about how receptive they are to really working with the fact that it is down a little bit. But yeah, but hey, shows, hot sauce, and great clothing.
I do believe, though, if you're looking at going to a Dark Arts Entertainment show, you can actually still go to not only, I think, the site, but the Facebook as well.
Yeah.
And you can actually still get event tickets from there as well.
Perfect.
So.
Okay, yeah. All right.
All right, Jesse, I gave you that.
Thank God.
And now, it is time. That's right, it's time. It's Vader time, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
It didn't happen when he was alive. It was an unexpected loss to us all. Yeah. But the man who became an absolute giant, and that is not even an understatement, the super heavyweight, is going into the WWE Hall of Fame.
It's about time.
Vader
I'm so
is
happy.
there. Jesse, is there anything more that needs to be said other than that it is finally time?
It's been time. I'm happy it's finally happening. It's so well deserved.
And you know what? I hate to be that guy. I'm not defending the company. Better late than never is the only thing that I think we need to say. Because here's the deal. I want no negative feelings. Right. It should have happened a long time ago, but a lot should have happened a long time ago. But Jesse, this is also a man who is arguably going to go into the New Japan Hall of Fame.
For certain.
Yes.
This is a man who went over to Japan, and as a guy, and as a Westerner, he owned the goddamn land of the rising sun.
Gaijin, I think the word you was looking for.
Yes, Gaijin.
Well, I was saying, I'm looking at the first two, and then the rumor for the next one. You got Big Guy Undertaker, you got Big Back Vader. Rumor is that they're going to announce it here on Monday or Tuesday.
Yep.
Psycho Sid. That's something that should have been done before.
Sid,
but
to be honest, Sid probably should have went in the same year NWO went in.
True.
Yeah.
But
3 big guys. It's interesting.
I will say this about Big Van Vader. It's funny because as legendary as he was, how underappreciated was he?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
What did he win in Japan? The Triple Crown?
Yeah, so he was IWGP Heavyweight Champion, IWGP US Champion, I believe IWGP Heavyweight Tag Team Champion.
Yeah, I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, he's a legend over there. He's going to go in their Hall of Fame.
Yes.
Only reason it hasn't happened yet is because they just got into the idea of putting Gaijin in.
Yeah.
But yeah, because hell, Larry Zbyszko isn't in theirs yet, and he was a legend.
One of the guys who ultimately, when he went over there, this was back in the days when they were attractions over there.
Right.
But they were attractions because they were kaijus. They were the Godzillas walking into here. And those were guys that Stan Hansen was a legend over there. All the guys who worked Japan and they ran that circuit. That was back in the days when guys would have an injury angle in WWF or WWF, all that stuff. And really they were just going over to honor some dates over in New Japan. But Gentle Giant, the man himself, is a Hall of Fame human being. Yeah. We miss him so much.
Boys Meet World spot, that was wonderful.
Oh, so beautiful.
It's just it couldn't go
like a big superhero, man.
Yeah.
It's really like a big old superhero.
Yep. And Jesse, he's an icon, arguably in Black history.
Yeah.
As the man who was more than willing to put over Ron Simmons to become the first ever Black heavyweight champion.
Over WCW.
Yeah.
Did you watch the Stone Cold, his podcast with Ron?
Not yet. I haven't had a chance to watch
I did watch
anymore.
that. It was some interesting facts, and this comes from Ron.
Yeah.
They did not figure out that they were going to do that until that night.
Oh, yeah.
Vader was not happy about doing it.
Oh, yeah. No,
but he says, he did it anyways, but not many people knew about it.
I think he was more mad at the timing of the booking.
I think it was
so than
I think it was more.
He wasn't mad because it was Ron, because we've proven Ron had more respect backstage than damn near anybody.
Right. Yeah.
So I think it was more of just poor booking was probably Vader's problem.
And I think the fun part is, maybe 3 or 4 people knew that was going to happen. So the people, the guys running in, the other wrestlers, they had no idea what's happening.
Yeah.
So that's genuine response on that, which is awesome. And seeing the fans too.
Yeah.
Seeing the looks, because I love it when they zoom in, and all of a sudden it happens, and everybody's going, huh? And their eyes are just huge. They're going, oh my God, I can't believe this has happened.
The masked man that really wasn't much of a mask, but hey, we loved it.
Oh God,
we'll never forget it. I wish he was here to talk about it, but you know what?
I think it's great that his family will get to induct him.
Yeah. Better. Hey man, look.
Better late than never.
Better late than never is all you got to say. I'm looking forward to the rest of this Hall of Fame class because if Taker's going in, it's going to be big. You got some big names.
I know. It's like, are they going to get a lady in or something, maybe?
The rumor is maybe China Doll gets in finally this year. I hope.
There's a rumor.
I don't know anybody else.
There's a rumor that if Scott's okay with it, the Steiners are on the list.
Right.
As the tag team.
Right.
And then as has been said, arguably we should put in a celebrity that should go in the actual Hall of Fame.
Probably Cyndi Lauper.
Cyndi Lauper.
Yeah, she should.
And with that, we will obviously look forward to it. We're going to get this out of the way. Happy 3/16 day to you folks. That'll be coming up. Make sure you drink a couple of cold ones. Jesse wrote it down. Jesse, I will hand this to you.
Well, remember, Monday is Pie Day.
Leroy?
And then that's for The Rock. And then we got Stone Cold.
Leroy,
360. I'm going to have to crack a beer on Wednesday.
I'd like to hand the mic to Jesse. Jesse, you got something for Leroy.
I don't know if I'm ready for this.
So we have a table for 3 where the concept of the game is you can only take 2 of the names given at your table for 3 because you are the third person.
I'm dreading this.
Your list today, Leroy.
I'm dreading this because my list.
I'm dreading it. It's not even my list.
From the time frame that I have is it's more than you guys combined, I think.
Butch, I don't actually feel as bad about doing this to you.
You shouldn't.
I do apologize. I love you, brother.
You shouldn't. That's not going to get you out of this.
I know. I'm gonna take it like a good boy.
So these are 3 technical wrestlers of your day.
Okay.
3 of the greatest of your day, but you can only choose 2. Are you ready?
I'm as ready as I can be.
Ricky the Dragon Steamboat.
We're starting with Ricky.
Oh, you fuckers.
Woo! Ric Flair. And the aforementioned just earlier, Larry Zbyszko.
I know how much you love Larry Zbyszko. I know how much you love yourself some Zbyszko.
You can only choose 2. So Ricky the Dragon Steamboat,
Ric Flair,
and Larry Zbyszko.
To the average fan, I think Rick and Rick are probably the obviouses.
To
Leroy, to me and Leroy, it's hard to leave off Zbyszko.
Larry is damn near impossible to leave off of a thing like this.
It is. Yeah, it would be fun to hear Ricky and Flair talk about Flair and Zbyszko.
Okay.
I think the stories that they could tell, it'd be incredible. I would have to, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, I'd have to have him with somebody else.
Okay.
I think it would, but
all right, that's fair.
Yeah.
Now I'll be honest, I'm not shocked you left out Ricky Steamboat Dragon. And here's why I'm actually not shocked. So when I was thinking of this list all week, I'm like, he'll probably leave Ricky off. And I think the reason I figured you might is because for those who don't know about Larry Zbyszko, Larry is probably the original. I almost want to call him like the original, almost like the original Chris Benoit / suave personality.
Yeah, I do agree with you that. Yeah,
because not only was he a technical genius in the ring, very physical, but he came off like a very suave businessman.
Two-time AWA World Heavyweight Champion. One-time AWA America's Heavyweight Champion. He was he is a member of the Cauliflower Alley Club class of '96. Yes. A former 2-time NWA National Heavyweight Champion. For Crockett and for Crockett WCW, he was a NWA Western States Heritage Champion. You know, that championship title picture was big.
It's deep.
Yeah,
it's very deep.
He was a World Television Champion. Mm-hmm. He was a World Tag Team Champion with Arn Anderson, the Enforcer. He is a Hall of Famer of the XWF and the LPW class of 2008.
Yes, sir.
He was the Beat the Champ Television Champion for the NWA Hollywood Wrestling.
Yep.
Hall of Fame for New England Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame, 2015 WWE Hall of Fame, Match of the Year versus Bruno Sammartino in a cage match at Showdown at Shea in Jesse's backyard.
Right there.
That's it. The
PWI 1980 Most Hated Wrestler of the Year. He was the Rookie of the Year in '74. Yep. Only took 6 years to become the most hated. That's pretty damn good back in those days. Tag Team of the Year in '91 with Arn. In '91, he was the 38th ranked out of 500.
Mm-hmm.
And in 2003, I want to point this out, 2003 debuted in 73. So 30 years later, he was the 105th top 500 singles competitor.
Yeah, he was still going strong.
He is a former WWF Tag Team Champion. Mm-hmm. And we have to do it. The Wrestling Observer Newsletter Awards, because it's back in the day when they mattered.
Yep.
Right.
Best heel in 1980. Feud of the year in 19. Was there any feud better in 1980 than Zbyszko versus Sammartino?
Not that I think of.
No.
And most improved wrestler.
Bruno was such a beloved baby face.
And obviously most improved wrestler for 1980.
Technically, didn't Bruno hold the WWF championship for the longest time?
It was like
over 1,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like 5 years or some shit like that.
It was a long time.
Yeah, nobody's gonna come close to that.
No, trained by Bruno Sammartino.
I just look at it, just think about, the questions you can get both him and Rick, but
his
just
family,
the stories Larry could tell
you
is incredible.
And mind you, based on his family
blow my
history,
mind.
His family, father-in-law was Vern Gagne.
Yeah.
His brother-in-law was Greg Gagne.
Well, duh.
There you go.
Wrestling was in his blood.
Yeah. I mean, that's my backyard, literally. Yeah. I mean, that's what I grew up watching is him and God damn you guys.
It's crazy, yeah.
I don't know how if you do it again, I don't know how you could get more crazier than that, but.
So my original list was the best 3 entertainers of your day. So that would have fucked with you because that was Hogan, that was Roddy, and then the other was Jerry the King Lawler. I'm like that's devastating though.
I'm not gonna tell you who I'd pick there, but
the best 3 entertainers of their heyday. That I'm like man. I don't want to bury my man like that. That one's tough.
I know
like
who
he buried me on the first one.
I know who I'd pick. Yeah, I'd love to have all 3 of those guys, but yeah.
Because while I might not like Hogan the man and all that, Hogan was definitely the best entertainer of his day.
I said to this day,
one of the best.
I hear his music, it still gets me right there.
Roddy Piper was amazing.
But Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, I'd put him on a table with like somebody else. If a couple, I'd have him with a couple other people than that. But yeah, Zbyszko and Flair, I hands down. I don't think anybody else that's been around that will watch him like I would probably disagree with me on that. So that's a tough. Oh God, that's a tough one.
Like I said, Larry Zbyszko is. I'm like the wealth of knowledge he would have.
I know.
The stories he could tell about Bruno Sammartino.
Yes.
Like that. I'm like, dude, I would love to hear those stories.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And yeah.
Man.
Makes me go, holy crap! All right. Oh. Damn you.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah.
You honestly probably made him want to give that to you more the more you spoke most of the show. All right, it's time once again for us to move. It is that time of year to finish up the show. We don't know if this will be quick. We don't know if it'll be long. It's time for anything involving the show of shows, Wrestle Mania. I think this card's better than some people are making it out to be. I don't think it's going to be a shit card. I also think it's kind of an insult with all the work they've put in the last year that people think that Nakamura and Boogs aren't a great team to have on the card, because I think they're going to do great.
Right.
Usos, I don't know if they lose at Mania. I think we'll see what happens.
This is not the team I would.
I don't think so. No.
Yeah.
But I still think with just the way that they've endeared themselves to the crowd, this might be a big pop if they somehow pull it off.
Sure.
And like I said, Jesse, once again, I'm going to have you explain, because I think I asked you this last week or the week before. Mm-hmm. People think that Nakamura is being gimmicked out for what he was in New Japan. But he had kind of already done everything in New Japan. Because no offense to New Japan, once they've kind of given everything to someone, they really don't know what to do with them afterwards.
When they give everything that they want to give.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in New Japan, he was never going to be a.
Because he was the youngest IWGP Heavyweight Champion of all time.
Which may never happen again. Everyone thought Evil might do it. Evil got it, and he was still like 2 years older.
Yeah.
Than Shinsuke was when he got it.
Yeah.
So, and then, of course, they finally gave my man Sonata a belt. 6 years late, Gato. Anyway.
Even Gato couldn't fix the horrible booking in TNA.
Yeah.
The stank had to come off of that.
How do you wait that long? A Sonata. Anyway,
I do like their Toyota commercials. They're funny.
They are great.
They are funny as shit.
The surfing one was great.
He was a sports entertainer in an actually sports-based presentational world.
But could go.
But could absolutely go. The whole Chaos faction was kind of created as that. Now, the problem was Ishii ain't no entertainer. He's just going to beat the shit out you.
Now, Chaos's name literally came from the fact that all they did was just cause chaos.
Hiroki Goto is not an entertainer. He just fucks you up.
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of when the whole problem with Chaos started.
But that's the part people don't realize, Jesse, because this is
that faction was started by Shin and Yano.
Yeah.
So I mean, these are two entertaining guys.
But my point is, Jesse, is that's the biggest thing people don't realize. Shinsuke can also out-wrestle either guy, arguably, because, I mean, Shinsuke was that prime. You and I talked about it when you first got on the show. He was always meant to go beyond New Japan.
Right.
He was always something about the man's natural charisma, because that is all him all day, every day.
Every day.
I mean, it's just Shinsuke is in a different company. He realizes he has to start from a certain point. He realizes that, yes, he had momentum. It's kind of fizzled, but he can get it back. But no, Shinsuke, Kushida, Io, they're not worse off. They're just not.
Asuka's going into the WWE Hall of Fame.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
She's won every woman's title there is to win. There's like...
And remember, she's never lost in NXT to this day.
Right.
Yep.
So
never has.
Well, actually, Charlotte did lose a few times, so never mind. I was going to say her and Charlotte never lost, but Charlotte did lose.
Charlotte did, yeah.
But yeah, otherwise, like, yeah, it's so weird to me that people would feel that way about Shin, but it's like Shin got to a certain extent. He's a legend in Japan. There's nothing to talk about.
And he's also at a point in his career, age-wise, where doing this kind of stuff, he can do it for another 10 years.
Well, he can basically... WWE is a chance for these older wrestlers to really longevigate their careers.
Yeah.
Because they can do it for an extra 20 years because... I know people call it the WWE way, but is it a very safe way of pro wrestling? It is, but that's fine.
Here, I got a question for both of you.
Yeah.
There's going to be 3 kind of celebrity gimmick matches. I'm kind of putting Pat McAfee as kind of a celebrity, kind of.
Oh, yeah.
You got that. You got Miz and our favorite guy, Logan Paul, against the Mysterios. And then you got Johnny and Sammy. Okay. Which of the 3 are you most looking forward to?
Pat versus Austin, and it's not even close.
Okay.
Because it's Sammy, and I'm looking forward to Knoxville versus Zayn. Because something about Zayn being able to work with this guy. I'm sorry, but when I look at what Sami Zayn was before WWE, and then I look at him now, it might be the greatest upgrade in the history of professional wrestling because you took a guy who just made a generic gimmick, El Generico, who, by the way, is sadly was killed by the cartel, but allegedly, but
neither been confirmed nor denied.
Yeah, exactly. There we go.
But no, Jesse, the handcuffs, in my opinion, because of the contract negotiations, are off of the aura around Sammy.
Yeah.
In that Sammy really has free range to kind of do anything because it's weird. Sammy's one of those guys that now that he's re-signed, he's got more free range than if he's going to get fired.
Right.
Because if he was fired, he has to do what they're gimmicking him out to do.
Right.
But now that he's there, it's like, what are you going to do? Fire me? You already re-signed me for fairly decent money for what Sammy's doing.
Right.
But this is what Sami Zayn has become, and he's good at.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that.
Oh, yeah.
Logan Paul, I just want to see you get your ass whipped, boy.
I do.
Because you a bitch.
But I agree with Jesse. I'm looking forward to Pat because I know he can go.
Yes.
But for entertainment where I'm going to chuckle and everything, I'm looking forward to Sammy.
Like I said,
Sammy and
I think Sammy and Johnny's going to be entertaining as shit.
Yeah.
That's going to be so I'm going to love that entertaining. Did they say?
And by the way, folks, internet shut up that, it's Sammy versus Knoxville. The crowds are popping when that jackass music hits. I don't give a fuck what anybody says.
Did they state when that was going to be, Saturday or Sunday yet?
I assume that'll probably be a Saturday match.
Saturday.
I could give a shit less about Logan Paul. And
Logan Paul did that to
unfortunately for Mike the Miz Mizanin, unfortunately for you, son, I could give a shit less about you as well. So as long as the Mysterios win, I don't give a shit about that match. As a matter of fact, I will probably be taking a shit during that match.
That's fair.
That's
fair.
But there's just something about Pat McAfee versus Austin Theory, and just the way it can be sold now is just whooped his ass a little bit on SmackDown. Like,
see, and I
hate to say
I was waiting to see him come on Raw.
Yeah.
That might happen this week.
No, he doesn't do that because he has to be in Indianapolis for his own show.
Yeah, I hate to say this. Okay. Could this have been? And I'm being serious. I'm not. Again, he spoke to he spoke to Vince, not me. I don't know what the plans were.
Right.
Could this have been Cole? Do you think?
A lot of things could happen for Cole. Cole decided to go play with his friends. That's on him. I love him. He's going to do great things.
Outside of AEW.
Adam Cole is a great professional wrestler. He has a hot dad bod, according to Britt Baker. He's a loving man. He's got a great little channel. And that's all I got to say about Adam Cole.
Okay, fair enough.
If you were still here, that would have been a good one.
You know what? I hate to say it. You're hating on Mania, which is weird because you're hating on it after Revolution because it was good, but it ain't.
Well, people are like, I don't like the card. I'm like, nothing looks bad.
No. That's the thing I'm trying to get at. Nothing actually looks like, why am I not doing this? Because, again, you're going to take a dump during it, but you know why the Mysterios are facing
right.
Paul. You get it.
Right.
You don't necessarily want to see it, but but it's not like it's something that you're looking at saying, why are we doing it? What's the point? Like, I mean, it's been built well enough at least.
I know what that match is going to be. So you know what I mean? Like, I know what that's going to be.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. But like the rest of the card, I'm looking forward to. The two women's title matches look absolutely phenomenal. I think they're both going to lose their championships.
Yep.
Roman's going to smash Brock, which is going to be weird because usually he gets his ass whooped by Brock. It'll be interesting to see what they do with Ricochet.
Yeah.
Because they could kind of just throw him in a little filler feud because they are pushing him.
Oh, yeah.
It'll be interesting to see him in a little filler feud for the Intercontinental Championship.
Finn's probably going to get into a filler as well.
I think that'll just be Demon Balor versus
Priest.
Damien Priest.
Yeah,
and
Priest.
That's what I'm looking at, probably.
Damien, not the kind of do Damien versus the Demon.
Yeah.
But which will be a banger match.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is it time for the Demon, though? You think he'll pull the Demon out of WrestleMania?
I think so.
Okay, all right. But no.
I think they'll try to give the Demon something that they kind of took from him against Roman.
Yeah, but that's my whole thing.
So, yeah.
But that's my whole thing is just, again, what exactly about this card is making people stand up and say, bleh. Oh, wait, it's the letters WWE, not AEW.
I
mean, hell, they even added the women's tag. And they actually made two really cool teams to go against the women. So I'm like,
and by the way,
either one of the ladies
end the show by discussing this.
Yeah,
the internet needs to shut up. Rhea Ripley's gonna be just fine. Right now, I actually think it's smart to still have Rhea be featured, but there's no point in her going up against the Horsewomen because they're gonna dominate. We know that. Rhea's gonna be fine. She's 26 at this point, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
She's
actually younger than Bianca.
She has 10 years
to
be a face of a show. They got her some shine early. They proved that they can come back.
Right.
I think Rhea is going to be someone that they look to for years to come.
And
I think she gets that. So that's why she's not worried about it. And there's nothing wrong with letting Liv, who's had decent momentum over the last year, latch on to Rhea right now.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with that. And like Jesse said, it adds a unique wrinkle to this match because I think the titles are coming off Zelina and Carmella.
Right.
But wherever they go is going to be a very unique run.
I also believe they really are going to do the Bianca beats all of the Horsewomen thing.
Yeah.
I think that's what they're going for.
Yeah.
Which is going to be pretty awesome when she does beat Charlotte Flair, which she actually almost did on SmackDown.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Well, as we know, we found out that Charlotte wanted that to happen.
She actually did want that to happen, yeah.
So, it'll happen soon.
I can't wait. I cannot wait for Mania. It's going to be great. Unfortunately, I'll be watching it from a different place. I may call into the show. We'll still talk Mania.
We can do that.
You know what, Jesse?
We'll be here. We might have some other guests here, but damn it,
Jesse,
we can call you in.
You said you'll be out the 1st, 2nd, and the 3rd. We're doing a show on the 4th.
True, but I do want to talk about Mania, so I'm pretty sure.
Well, the 4th we'll just recap all of Mania.
True.
So we'll probably just see you that Monday.
Because even from my little studio time I'll be doing for Safer Now, I'm still going to be watching it.
Oh, yeah.
I'll be on my phone.
No,
like this.
If you want to call in, we'll have you call in for a little bit if you want.
Yeah. But anyway.
I will be on the cock.
But anyway.
Never thought I would say those words.
Yeah, right?
Well, hey.
Jesse had
I enjoy
interesting show.
watching on the cock.
We'd also like to point out here one more time before we leave. Actually, for the first time. Diamond Dallas Page is currently working with Buff Bagwell,
who looks a lot better.
We do hope that Buff Bagwell can, one of those guys that just you loved Buff, you just did.
Buff Daddy,
and
Buff is the stuff. I remember that.
Just like Scott Hall and Buff. I watched them growing up. Right. I mean, I'm glad he's getting his help. He needs it.
All right, we are once again on the road to WrestleMania. You know where you can find us. Jesse, one more time, your band plug, please.
So, band plugs, really quick, and personal plugs. So, band plugs you can find Safer Now and Winning Isn't Everything on Facebook at Winning Isn't Everything Music, and Safer Now and Men. You can also find Winning's Music on all streaming platforms. You can also find me on Twitch this week talking pro wrestling, so feel free to come join me.
So we tease that, if they like our theme music, we're going to get a new one.
Also, you know what? Also, for everyone, I believe the email is 13 cards subject to change at Yahoo, I believe, right?
Yes.
So
it is on our Facebook page.
So either go to there or come find me on YouTube this week or come find me on Facebook. Give me your top 5. Top 5 WWE wrestlers more over
women's wrestlers.
Women wrestlers that are more over than Britt Baker. So exclude the Rhea Ripleys, the 4 Horsewomen, Bianca Belair, Io Shirai from your list.
Here's the deal. I want to clarify that list one more time. That is going to be a list that Jesse understands the assignment. So if everyone thinks I'm not explaining it, I'm going to do it because there's going to be a lot of AEW fans that are going to hate us for it. No, it's going to be obvious who I'm talking about.
Right.
If it's the 4 Horsewomen, I'm sorry. If you think Britt Baker's more over than 4 Horsewomen, You're crazy. Rhea is clearly more over. Right. I think it basically starts at Liv Morgan down because clearly Bianca's over.
Clearly, Bianca's way more
it's
over.
Obvious who we're talking about.
Right.
Out because sadly you can hate her all you want, but the crowd reacts. Ronda's more over than Britt Baker. That's not.
You know what? I'll throw another one for the fans to do.
All right.
So we'll do 2 of them next week.
Okay. Yeah.
So for the AEW fans and non-AEW fans, I want to hear your list, and I'll we'll all kind of make our own if we want to. So maybe just me and Zach. If I know you don't watch AEW as much, Leroy. Top 5 opponents for
we forgot about my top 5 of AEW. Well, who I think the worst acts are, but we'll do that next week. We'll save it until next week. Jesse, you challenged me for my 5 AEW acts. But we'll do that next week. We're kind of running out a little short on time here. So
what we'll do is we'll do a top 5 potential challengers for Adam Page for the World Heavyweight Championship.
I'm down. Because my top 5 with 2 honorable mentions.
Page.
Yep. With my 2 honorable mentions are.
I love you.
Right? We missed you last week. We needed you last week.
We did miss you last week.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
But my point is this. So next week, it'll be my top 5, and I get 2 honorable mentions of what I think the worst acts in AEW are. Leroy, I don't know if you listen to the show, but the Bucks might not make my top 5.
Holy shit.
Which is amazing after watching that page.
But yeah, they can send a mention if and if they want to go and, tweet those things to us too, you can do that too, at
Jesse will be let back into our Twitter by the end of the day.
I know.
Yes.
But yeah,
I locked myself out on accident.
At cards_13.
Yes.
Tweet that. I'm gonna tweet. I put some pictures up of my lovely decoration I put up. I'm gonna put another one up there, and I want to thank, the same people, Darren, for giving me a lot of this stuff.
You have a lot of merch in here by Darren Corbin.
Well, they kind of had us as Corbin right there.
How handsome that young man is.
Why do I feel like putting all this stuff up is Leroy might have to have Leroy tested for Stockholm syndrome, because there's a lot of things up of a man who has physically assaulted you multiple times.
Well, I preach him, but I do have. I do love that lovely, Natalia over here,
Miss Marakova, who by the way I told you guys,
lovely,
is one of the better independent wrestlers on the planet.
She is lovely. She was tweeting.
Did not know she was.
She's heading to Florida. Lucky
Hurt my
girl.
heart to hear that.
Yeah.
But anyway, we appreciate you guys. We're on the road to WrestleMania next week. Jesse will be here next week.
I will be here next week, yes.
You'll just allegedly miss the first 2 shows of our WrestleMania weekend.
Unfortunately, will not probably be here for the first 2. I'll probably try to call in, though.
Okay, yeah.
We'll work on it, yeah.
But anyway, next week, it's not confirmed because life happens, but Eric has promised us he will attempt to make next week. The week before DPW, it's our last show before DPW.
2 weeks for that.
Oh, so, yep, we appreciate all of you lovely people, and we will talk to y'all next week.
Bye-bye.